Yeah, we are live finally.
Ciao,
Yeah,
ciao.
ciao, ciao, ciao. How are you, Ajay bhai? कैसे हो यार? Finally, आज अपना first stream since the. Oh yeah, Ajay bhai is with is
Salute.
with his wife. Would you want to tell the audience what it is exactly? Which
This is red wine Rosso Vino, and it's from the sacred slopes of Sula, Nashik. This is bottled in 2022, so okay, it's aged a bit.
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, chill stream है तो भाई wine तो बनता है. और Italians में
Cele-
generally खाते हैं और
cele-
wine
Vino
yeah,
alla
celebrate.
Vine.
Vino, la
Celebratory for the Del Monte episode, I guess.
या और कुछ तो है नहीं celebrate करने के लिए football results wise, so might as well.
But how are you doing, DJ bhai? Nice to have you also back. How are you doing?
All good, boys. All good. Just winding down the week, winding down a fabulous week for Calcio Charcha also.
Hmm.
That was a very fabulous start to the week because of what we dropped over the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looking forward to more such chats.
Hmm. Yeah,
And,
definitely. I mean, yeah, it was definitely a highlight, DJ bhai. I mean, the response was overwhelmingly positive. Let me say that.
Correct.
Matlab, the views, the comments in general, the people really liked that episode, and I'm glad, the effort, paid off. So we have a few people already saying that Bhutia69 says I'm the first. Nishan says fantastic interview with Del Monte. Swarnim Bhai is also here. He says Ajay Balote. Rajat is here. He says hello, hi to you. I know you participated a lot during the Del Monte stream, so thanks to you. Don't end up on the street, says Swarnim. Adriano is Australian and DJ Bhai is Italian. I mean, you can definitely DJ Bhai definitely has an Italian flair to him. Dhananjay Pierlo says Nishan Bhai. Love
too
Kush is
kind,
also
too
here.
kind.
No, but that's
You
a
know,
general sentiment. Sorry,
you know
Ajay
what?
bhai.
Nishad had a very good analogy. So in
Yeah.
case you guys missed it, कि आज सुबह को Hajduk split beat Fenerbahce. DJ, can you guess the I know Param, you know. Can you guess the coach of Hajduk split of Croatia? Can you just guess?
It's a familiar face, DJ bhai. He's very familiar to Italy.
Calcio legend. Okay, so Nishant compared him to Sunny Deol.
Who are we talking about? Stramachoni.
No,
Strama.
Let's give it away. Ajay.
it's
Yeah.
Gattuso.
Gattuso.
Oh, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and
Sunny
obviously,
Deol in action, no doubt, no doubt. When he loses it, he's definitely Sunny Deol.
Yeah.
so
And
if I stick to that analogy, then Lord Bobby Deol is Andrea Pirlo because Sunny Bobby.
Mir says, hi, Snehil and Rajat both asked, do you guys watch tennis? I watch tennis. Do you guys watch tennis? DJ bhai and Ajay bhai?
Yes, of course, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, guys, fun
Any-
fact, they say that if you basically out of all the sports, if you play a racket sport, that is the one that is most attached to intelligence and
Wow.
keeping your brain activity high even as you age. So racket sports are the most important from that context and perspective.
Wow. Didn't know that. I'm glad to know that. At least I don't
Very,
play it, but
very
at least as a
interesting,
follower.
you know.
Yeah.
Very
I used to play a
interesting.
lot of squash. I still
Yeah.
play squash, but I used
Wow.
to play at the like my club level, like my local club level.
Yeah, that's why I play a little paddle now, which is also very
Wow.
addictive.
Paddle is good. Yeah. Paddle is
Very,
good.
very
Paddle is
addictive. Yeah.
Yeah. Goose Spring says he's from Assam. Has anyone ever been to Assam? Not me. Anyone of
Nahi
you?
yaar.
ever been to
No,
Assam?
man, I'd love to, but
I love to
not.
exactly.
Kaziranga is on the bucket list of. Luckily, my wife is not watching the stream. She'll be like, let's
Yeah,
go. She wanted to go to Kaziranga.
Yeah, Bhutia says Adriano's podcast or interview was so refreshing to see between all these Euros chaos. Thanks, guys, for making my day amazing. I agree with you. Matlab, I just thought, we could do something different. And, the Euros were close to now are almost to a close. And hame laga ki, let's do something. Let's drop the episode then. And I'm glad you guys liked it because hame lag raha tha, itna effort dala hai production or isme. Thanks to DJ Bhai and his crew for getting this done because we'll get to how it came about, but it was so much fun even when we were filming it, even when we met Adriano beforehand. It was I'm just glad the effort paid off. Any Nadal fans here? I don't support Nadal. Any one of you?
Guys, I mean, anyone at the top of the game, always nothing but respect. I mean, the
Nothing
kind of
against him. I respect him. Just not a
yeah,
not
nothing.
like
I mean, just the discipline it takes to kind of be there, and just I think to have been basically outmatched Roger in his prime. I think nothing but
yeah
respect.
yeah
Like
fair.
so. I
Absolutely.
actually am a bigger Roger fan, but just the way Nadal kind of stayed, in spite of all the injuries, and went toe to toe and even bettered Federer in the prime of their rivalry. Nothing but respect. Can't hate him, yeah. Can't hate
Yeah,
him.
of course, of course.
Roger's my
Ajay
favorite,
bhai,
but can't hate Rafa.
yeah. Ajay bhai, what about you?
Let's start with this. Who's respect, like complete respect to Nadal, but I want to know who your favorite tennis player uh, is or was of all time.
For, for me, it's Djokovic because again, when I started watching at a very young age, he was just breaking through. And I also like Del Potro, but unfortunately, because of his injuries, his career got wrecked. I used to really
Yeah.
like Del Potro a lot. Even Cilic, but again, injuries, same story. Marin Cilic. These three are my favorite. Like I have respect for Federer and Nadal. It's just that because I started watching Djokovic first and I could relate so much to him, I just couldn't relate as much with Roger and Nadal. As a fan, obviously the respect is there because you can't deny that they are two of the goats of tennis. And again, I don't like to pick anyone because then the argument starts there itself. So I really don't like to pick. But yeah, that's my favorite. What about DJ Baito said it? It's Roger Federer. But
No,
DJ
no,
Bhai, anyone
actually,
else?
guys, all
What?
time favorite is actually very very long ago. A gentleman
Yeah.
by the name of Stefan Edberg. He had
It
actually,
was.
funnily enough, coached Roger for a little bit. Because they're
Yeah.
both really serve and volley kind
Yeah.
of players. And I was a huge fan. This is the Boris Becker, Ivan Lendl
Hmm.
winding down era, and so Edberg is my all-time favorite. But then came
Wow.
Roger, and then after that, it's been Novak. I just think
Yeah.
like similar to what Adriano was saying in the interview. The
Hmm.
guy is just mentally, like I have so much appreciation for him always overcoming the odds. For some reason, he's always been like a player who's got the short end of the stick with the crowd. I don't know why.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
overcome that, and I think the way he's smashing records, nothing but
Hmm.
respect. So it's kind of like Edberg, Roger, Jocko. I think they
Yeah.
are like my holy trinity, sort of.
Yeah. So
I
by the way,
absolutely
bolo Ajay bhai, bolo.
love a very non familiar name because
Hmm.
I watched this one Wimbledon, I forgot which year, maybe early 2000s, and I was like, this guy can serve. So this is an
Hmm.
Australian gentleman by the name of Mark Philippoussis,
I've
Of
and
heard of him.
course, of course,
Yeah.
of course,
beautiful man,
of course,
beautiful. What
of
Wow.
course,
every serve of his was an
Yeah.
ace. At
Yeah.
least,
of
I
course.
mean, I was like,
Yes,
wow.
Hmm.
It's
for
a
sure.
shame that he didn't win any, major Grand Slams,
Yeah.
Correct,
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, very,
correct.
very interesting. And someone
Of
actually said it, the Williams sisters, man. Credit.
Yeah, definitely Williams. But also, I have full respect for Bopan Nair. Of course, I like him a lot.
Be right
मतलब
back.
Ah,
it's I was just happy to see finally वो doubles में Grand Slam जीता FJ के
exactly,
साथ.
exactly. I
It
don't know.
was so
Even
हाँ,
up the Indian players have been so good. I mean, be it
yeah,
Sania Mirza, be it
yeah,
Leander Paes, Mahesh
yeah,
Bhupathi, all of them have achieved so much. And तेरे को पता है, you work in sport, you know
yeah.
how difficult it is for a tennis player to rise up there, however
Absolutely,
financially rich they are, to
absolutely.
get up to that level.
Yeah. Let's
Amazing,
be real. Like
absolutely.
by the way, those in the chat, ये पूरा tennis discussion नहीं है. As ये chill stream है again. Let me just clarify it. ये we will get to our Italian football talk. We will get to Euros. We will get to everything. ये थोड़ा chill stream है तो थोड़ा आज casual होगा because I felt this should be more of like a celebratory stream after the Del Monte episode. थोड़ा let's take it slow. So that's why we started with tennis. But Ajay bhai, you're absolutely right because tennis, let's be honest, is an elitist sport. Let's be
Yeah.
very real. मतलब it is very difficult to become a tennis player. बहुत expensive होता है and Nagal up until few months ago was just breaking even in terms of his earnings. So he was literally pleading for more money for sponsors. So it's very
Yeah.
difficult. Today comments लेते हैं अजय भाई. Worldly hate says I very interesting username. Rajat says paddle and TT. Yeah, I used to play TT a lot. Even I did play a lot of district level tournaments. Maybe should have done more, but I love the sport. Do you like table
my, my
tennis, Ajay?
dad my dad plays TT very well, man.
Yeah,
He's an OP player. So I stopped playing against my dad and my brother because they always beat me in table tennis. So we're like squash खेलने आओ. Let's play
yeah.
squash because that is more of my game where I'm running around and jumping and just continues to keep on hitting the ball. So I'm more of a squash player than a TT player.
Gosh, fair enough. DJ Bhai OP says Bhutia 16. Nishan says DJ Bhai think NFL. Let DJ Bhai come back. I'll address your question to him. Ajay Bhai, Kaziranga is famous for one horned rhinos. Yes.
It is. And I've seen the black rhino in Kenya, which is very, I mean, I've not seen Assam, but I've seen Kenya. I want to make, मतलब वो मेरे को सुधार करना है मेरे travel bucket list में. मेरे को सिर्फ वो Africa का एक वो, I just want to, cross out Africa from the continent. But now this year and the next year, hopefully I want to travel across India.
Wow, interesting. That's a good goal. By the way, just something very interesting. ये D Lorenzo बहुत funny आदमी. He just confirmed his decision in an open letter to stay at Napoli. What a guy, man. पूरा summer नाटक.
You really think he's going to have any suitors after that tournament that he's had?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
That Juve talks completely broke down. Obviously, the offer probably went away.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure UA, we'll come to it, obviously, Calcio talk, but I'm pretty sure UA have shifted focus to someone like a Cancelo, because the links are there.
Let's talk about Jan Couto from Man City.
Yeah, Jan Couto. Yeah, Jan Couto. Definitely.
He's kind of like Cancelo, but we'll come to that, of course.
Yeah, we'll definitely come to it. Wawrinka was vibe, still plays now. Yeah, Wawrinka was something. But again, he's not the same anymore. Snail says, just the way DJ Bhai described Nadal, he knew that he wouldn't be a Novak fan. Tennis is also... By the way, I think you're an AC Milan fan, Snail. Obviously, we know that Sinner and Djokovic are AC Milan fans. Even though, we are Inter fans, that doesn't come...
Musetti is a UA fan.
Musetti is a UA fan. Musetti is a UA fan. Yeah.
This is my favorite pastime, okay? I go and see every athlete of any other sport to see which football club they support.
Yes. It's very funny because I know Berrettini is a Romanista or one of Roma or Fiorentina fans.
Yeah.
One of the two. Arnaldi and Fonini are Inter fans. Musetti is a Juventino, obviously. Sinner and Djokovic, AC Milan fans. So definitely. Check
Djokovic is very well documented AC fan. I think he said it in a couple of interviews.
DJ Bhai even came for the UCL semi-final when AC Milan were the home side. He even came for that game. Sorry, tennis is also a gentleman game, so there is no fight. Definitely, fair point here. Nadal Federer is one of the most iconic rivalry of all times. I've never watched a game of tennis without... I mean, what else can you say? Any one game you guys would like to highlight between these two, which really stood out for you?
Guys, the Wimbledon final, the one that went all the way. I mean, that is just stuff of legend. I mean, that is something you're not going to see again in your lifetime.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's on my bucket list, and I'm sure it's on your bucket list as well. I have to go see a Wimbledon game, That has to happen.
Agreed. Wimbledon game and one test match in Lords. Mera bhi pending hai.
So I've seen, but I've not seen a test match. I've seen a county game at Lords. The effect is essentially...
Yeah, Rajat says Berrettini is a Fiorentina fan. Yeah, that's what I was a bit confused, but I remember now. Dishan Karthik, I think he's an Inter fan from what I remember. UA is building a serious team title. Is pe aate Dishan. We'll just slowly get into the Calcio talk now. Are you guys into F1? Not me, Ajay bhai, DJ bhai.
Massive F1 fan from the past. DJ, can you get my favorite driver from the past? And it's not sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Villeneuve, but he was mine. But of course,
the crazy French Canadian.
He was really.
Yeah, the crazy French from Montreal.
My favorite as well. Jacques was just.
My favorite is Mika Hakkinen, the OG.
That if not him, it's going to be Hakkinen. So I was a big Hakkinen fan as well. Everything he did with Mercedes was fab. But I think I just veered off F1 a little bit after that. Those two big rivalries. But I did keep tabs on Schumi after his injury a little bit. Then we kind of lost media coverage on that as well. His wife had actually blocked out the media. And so I was actually also a Juan Pablo Montoya fan. The way he kind of went guns blazing against Schumi in that season.
Williams BMW.
Williams BMW, big fan at that time. But I think now I'm not so much into it, and a lot of changes and everything. It's very hard to keep up, And I think also somewhat of it is also a function of time. You're not able to really keep up with most sport.
Fun fact: Giancarlo Fisichella is a big Romanista from the I mean, he's Romano from the Roma bed of the city, and Daniel Kvyat, the Russian F1 driver, he actually stays in Rome. Again, he has come for a lot of Roma home games. So that is why, I mean, other athletes following football clubs is my favorite thing to Google ever.
Hirendra says, please talk about Como and Varan. Karenge. We are just getting into the football chat. Just hold on. Few more minutes of thoda something else, and then let's talk about what we are here for. Again, this is a chill stream. Just a reminder for the audience. मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही दिया था. This is just a more casual stream here. So whatever about sports or just anything else, we're just here to talk about it. Again, Arun says, Kyrgios fan. Interesting. Very interesting.
I thought as much.
वो सूट करता है तेरे लिए. Definitely.
Racket like this.
The amount of trolling you do on every stream, I feel it definitely suits you. Rajat says, I also support Djokovic. Goosefring says, my favorite Federer, Serena, and Sarah? Okay.
Sharapova.
That's what I'm a bit confused. Yeah. Zirkzee Hive Rise. Yeah. If you're a Man United fan, congratulations to you because you're pretty much signed Zirkzee. And Ajay Bhai did a breakdown of Zirkzee and how he would fit in at Manchester United on his channel with Kostub. So if you want to check it out, do check it out after this stream.
A lot of beat maps for that one.
Yeah, Djokovic did get booed against Runa. It's up in the air, but obviously he didn't like it. वो पूरा उसका interview अगर आपने देखा, it was hilarious.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, it was something. But I think let's get to it here. We'll come to the rest of the comments here. I think Swarnim Bhai is very happy that Di Lorenzo is not coming to UA. He sarcastically says Di Lorenzo uno di noi. So, but let's get to it, Ajay bhai. Let's start with the Del Monte thing because मुझे personally at least बहुत questions है, and even on our comment section people were like कैसे film किया, how did it come about? So I'll start with any one of you who wants to start. Where should we start? How we got into it and everything. I think because I remember me and Ajay bhai started with it. Then I'll get to DJ bhai and how we arranged it because कैसे हुआ था basically obviously I first saw the ad on TV and on Twitter कि Del Monte is coming down because we all knew कि Manas bhai and Arpit bhai obviously from Sony are going to Germany to cover the Euros. So Del Monte was pretty much filling in for them and doing the Euros. So funnily enough, I was about to text Ajay bhai and that's when I got his call and he was saying the same thing DJ bhai कि चलो इसको लाना है. Pretty much at the same time it came about. And we were like, chalo, isko pehle message dal ke dekhte, then we'll tell the others in the sense ki, if something breaks through, then, there's good news to give to the others. And we were confused. How do we approach this guy? Should we ask Manas bhai? Should we ask someone else? Ajay was like, let's just try, let's message him on Twitter. So he just messaged him and he replied promptly, quite promptly to be fair. And it was on ever since then. And then we, messaged DJ bhai and everyone on the group. And the main question was, how do we film this? Because I remember, I think Ajay bhai said Del Monte wanted to film this in person. He preferred that. And then we were like, chalo, DJ bhai se pooch lete because DJ bhai pretty much works in that field. So DJ bhai, you want to take over from here, how you, arranged everything and from there on?
There's nothing to it, guys. I think the real magic happened between Param and Ajay where they said it on the show as well. I mean, the minute... Del Monte was coming, they kind of identified him as like a key speaker with regard to Calcio. So then we all brainstormed together in terms of how we should do this. So we just set it up and decided to shoot the podcast a little professionally. So we have a couple of production teams that kind of are good in this space. So we kind of put it together. We scripted it. We had a little bit of structure. So full credit there to Param and Ajay. Chintan and I just had like a very broad conversation. Of course, from the outside, Kaustav Mittal and our most favorite Yogesh were cheering us on. And we then went and met Del Monte at the hotel. We kind of recceed that space to see whether we could kind of shoot it there, but we didn't get permission. So we decided to shoot it, in an office/studio space, which is where all of it went down. It was an absolute pleasure, ADM, if you're watching this, thank you once again for being so generous with your time and giving us the opportunity to kind of collaborate. He's an absolute gent, guys. Fabulous insight into the game. Very gentlemanly and nice of him to kind of take that time out. He was shooting and later that evening, but he still kind of made time for us. And so nothing but respect. And hopefully going forward, we do hope that we will collaborate with him again, and he's going to kind of help and be the facilitator for other collaborations in this space as
Yeah.
well. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Ajay bhai, anything
Yeah.
for you to say?
Oh, man, you know कि कितना stress था when we had to pick him up, okay? Because when Param and I reached, while we were reaching his hotel, it was
Yeah. Yeah.
raining, absolutely pouring, and I was like, यार, आज ही बारिश गिरना है, you know, the day that we're taking him out for a shoot, and even okay, I don't want to disclose the name of the hotel, but I had this conversation for 15 minutes with the manager of the hotel, trying to explain to her that, you know, we are just like, you know, casual fans
Yeah.
who have like a camera and who just want to have a conversation. That's it. We are not a production house, we are not a media house, and we don't want the banquet hall for whatever cost that she had quoted. And yeah, I mean, it was very I would say there was a lot of planning involved, a lot of
Yeah.
back and forth, a lot of logistics.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I actually was so relieved that, you know, everything went well, and we
Yeah.
dropped ADM back because,
Yeah.
as DJ mentioned, that he had a shoot after that. So
Yep.
I was looking at the time on one hand, तो
Yeah.
बहुत stressful था यार, ऐसा नहीं था कि एकदम ये था. And I think this overall, all of us, the way that we did our part,
Yeah.
and I mean, it was amazing, amazing to see.
Yeah. And Arun, like, I know you don't mean it in a bad way, पर इतना मतलब I think you didn't get it. Like many people were asking कि कैसे थोड़ा उनको behind the scenes जानना था basically, where you say edited and posted. The thing is इतना भी आसान नहीं था because time crunch बहुत था, as Ajay bhai said. You know, एड्रियानो को थोड़ा पिकअप करने में लेट हो गया इन द सेंस कि बिकॉज ही हैड अ प्रोडक्शन कॉल, उसको लेट हुआ,
Yeah.
एंड देन फ्रॉम देयर वी हैड टू reach at a specific time in heavy rains and then drop him back right after. And that's what I'm saying. That's, as Ajay bhai said, everyone played their part. You know, DJ bhai, Chintan bhai handled the, you know, flow of the podcast as well, the creative side of it, especially the editing which DJ bhai got done, especially the rapid fire, and the part, that last ending part was fun thanks to Chintan, DJ bhai. They were very super creative on that. So
Yeah.
that's the, I think that's one good thing about our podcast, I'll say, is that because I feel always that each of us brings something different, you know, just like we support different clubs, funnily
Yeah.
enough. So वो एक फायदा तो पड़ता है यार, सबके अलग अलग आइडियाज एक साथ आ जाते हैं, एंड इट रियली helps a lot. I know you were trolling Arun ने वो पता चल जाता है यार.
No, I mean, like, it's like, you know, when you put out a team, right? Every
Yeah.
player has like a unique
Yeah.
characteristic, so one can't function without the other. Like I said, the brainchild being with Param and Ajay, like even thinking it, you know, like like for me in my mind, I didn't even know that possibility existed, you know. So it was the inventiveness of you guys. Everything was in place, and then that allowed us to create a little bit of a flow. So
Yeah.
of course, completely, you know, as a collective, couldn't have happened one without the other.
Absolutely. So I think we'll move on from this. थोड़ा football talk पे आते हैं. I guess everyone knows. Snail, I know you want more tennis talk. थोड़ा कर लेंगे. If you hold on, we'll get back to it. Let's थोड़ा
Yeah.
mix it up, Snail, because there, I'm sure stream में थोड़े non tennis fans भी होंगे, तो उनको थोड़ा उस पे ये नहीं करना है हमें. Let's get to football side of things यार. किससे start करें आज? Where do we start? Yeah, there's so much, right?
Let's
I
start
think
with
let's just start on the back of last night, yeah, guys. I mean,
yeah, last
like
night. Sure, DJ. Sure, why not?
the heartbreak
थोड़ा, I
of
mean,
last night.
Yeah, heartbreak for sure. Any England? Of course, of course, man.
But
There's
to be
that.
fair, guys, I genuinely don't understand the hate Gareth Southgate
Yeah.
gets. Maybe as an outsider, unbiased, non-England fan, I think he gets a lot of hate. I
Yeah.
think people also need to understand that there is a marked difference between a club coach and an international coach. The skill set is different.
Yeah.
When you're in
Yeah.
a tournament, the kind of football is not as important as the effectiveness of that football. Because the measure is basically you going deep in the tournament, not how beautifully you're playing, because you could be playing very beautifully and still get knocked out. You know, Spain, of course, being the anomaly, because they managed to do that every couple of years or so. They put out a team that just becomes like world beaters. They have been so impressive, not just for the football that they're playing. I think we're also not talking enough about the mentality they've been showing. You know, to go deep against Germany scoring in the 90th, taking it to extra time, and Spain coming back from that moment, really is the stuff of champions, you know. But at the same time, when you look at the way England has progressed, it's not, of course, people will say it's Slovakia, and, you know, the run-up has been easy, Denmark,
Yeah.
Slovakia. But again, to these tournaments, the key is peaking at the right time. And now England are beginning to show, they're beginning to get that little momentum and that flow, which is giving them like a, you know, extra dimension of energy, which will be very handy in a one-off final.
Yeah. We have
So-
Chintan Bhai here. Finally,
Salute,
Dominic
salute.
Calvert-Lewin joins the chat when we are talking about England itself. But
Oh.
yeah, continue, DJ. I will get to Chintan Bhai's thoughts next itself. But yeah.
So yeah, to me, guys, it's just very unfair. I feel the hate that Gareth gets.
Yeah.
Look at that trajectory under him. Yeah, they did the last
Yeah.
Euro, they won the final. They've done the semis. Uske baad,
Yeah.
abhi now another final run. I mean, like, what else do you expect from the guy? I mean, most
Yeah.
national teams would have loved their coach to take them so deep in 3 straight tournaments. So
You're
what's with the
spot on.
criticism? Let's
Yeah,
be
you're spot on.
fair. He's created a very effective unit. I heard a lot
Yeah.
of criticism about the players they left back and all of that. But and forget that. His in-game management has been off the charts, boss. Like, his substitutions are like, whatever he touches turns to gold. I mean, brilliant reading of the game.
Yeah.
So
I
full
was sorry, DJ. I was laughing mainly because Gareth Southgate here in the chat asks, Chintan Bhai, from which hand should I lift the trophy first? but to your point, DJ Bhai, he makes a very good point before I ask Chintan, because he said Hirendra over here says Gareth Southgate. He's put up a stat. Southgate is the first manager in the history to go 13 matches in a row without defeat at the Euros. So whatever DJ Bhai said, I agree with him in the sense कि उसको कुछ ज़्यादा ही criticism मिलता है. When he shifted Saka to left wing back, people are losing their minds. Oh, this guy's putting Saka at left wing back, but he's not an idiot at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure there's a reasoning behind it, and it's working. Whatever it is, even if it's not the most pretty football, he makes some mistakes here and there, but who doesn't at the end of the day, right? And he's here again, as DJ Bhai pointed out. He's in a final, back-to-back final. He's got them to semi-finals of the World Cup as well. But Chintan Bhai, I'll come to you. थोड़ा यूरोस के बारे में बात करें यार. क्या लगा आपको कल के मैच के बारे में? We were probably all of us were supporting the Netherlands, but
I think me and DJ had spoken offline in another group. It's written in the stars. I think DJ has been saying it for a while. Yeah. And again, I totally agree with DJ. I came in and I'm hearing this, which I don't care. Like, as a fan, you would not care about how the team plays as long as you're winning it. I don't understand this cribbing. You're winning. And you know what? The thing is, people are, because I think there are big name players. Of course, they're from EPL. They're a player of the season and all. They want them to play in a certain way. अरे बॉस इफेक्टिव फुटबॉल खेलना है, तुम लोग जीत रहे हो. पहले ट्राई किया जो किया था, कुछ जीते नहीं. अभी now you guys are winning it. It's shocking. This English team, even 93rd minute, 92nd minute, they've not lost the game. Yeah. And another criticism what people keep giving, unko easy draws mile. Bro, you play what is there in front of you, man. It is not their fault that what are they getting it. I don't understand this about the fixtures.
Yeah.
So I understand, okay, it's easier fixtures, but and it's a pretty eternal saying in probably in any sport. If you want to win, you need luck.
Yeah,
and it is luck. And of course, no one is going to deny it that Slovakia were better in that game. Switzerland also deserved much more, but of course, it's penalties. And let's not forget, those penalties were on point.
The penalties were pretty good.
Dude, it is.
Speaking of penalties, was it a penalty or not?
वही मैं आप पे आना चाहता था अजय भाई पहले. I wanted to come to you because मेरे लिए 50-50 है. मेरे लिए 50-50 at best है.
Not a penalty, Param. Not
Which
a penalty.
One? That's not a penalty. It's not a penalty.
No, zero intention. He's going for the ball. 50-50 challenge. It's a follow-through shot, not a penalty at all.
That's what DJ Bhai, you said it.
Again, guys, the thing is, you can't. To me, England have kind of made their own luck. The Swiss game, 5 perfect penalties, right? Yeah. Slovakia coming back at the death, not giving up till the end. This game also, you can criticize the penalty all you want, but at the end of the day, the 90th minute goal was perfect. It would have gone to extra time. That would have given them renewed hope, and they would have scored there also. So it's to me, it's their run. I mean, the fact they're in the final, you just can't debate it. You have to just say, they're deserving of being there. Of course, we'd all like a different outcome, but this is the kind of run that is written in the stars. And you're scoring last minute goals, you're getting the lucky penalty, which you can't deny. I mean, everyone needs that little bit of luck, right? Like Chintan was saying.
How
you can't
good
deny
was his substitution though?
Sorry?
How good was his substitution though? He removed Harry
Watkins.
Kane and bought Watkins.
Yeah. That's the thing to DJ bhai's point, na कि इतना depth भी हो आपके पास, quality हो, eventually it helps you make your own luck.
And
But
listen, by the way, even Gareth Southgate ka general thing is, his general thing is, I feel, look at his management. As he said, in-game management, amazing. Yeah, his in-game management is so good. And he gets Ivan Toney on, Watkins came on. People are giving him a stick about Cole Palmer not starting. They came on, and it is unbelievable. And I feel like what DJ said, they're making their own luck. And that penalty shootout was clearly hashed out before. They have played. They studied the Italian loss in the finals. And by the way, I just read a stat before Gareth Southgate took over in 2016. They had won 6 knockout games. After Gareth Southgate has taken over, they've won 7 knockout games since 2016. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I think he deserves a statue regardless of the result on Sunday.
Yeah. So before I get to Ajay, I'll just take a few comments here. Swarnim, very good, poll here. He says, "Who are you supporting in the finals, Spain or not England?" But moving on here, we have. Oh yeah, do you guys ever play football at school level or college level? I mean, I guess pretty much all of us have, I guess. But anyone who's played
But
beyond that,
not good enough.
Chintan and I still play. Chintan plays more than me. I mean, we have this lovely ground. We lost it, so we lost a little momentum there. Now I play the odd game, but Chintan is a absolute regular. I'm a little lazy, but we make it a point. I make it a point to make sure that I don't stop playing, because you don't want to lose the rhythm of the game. And and I think what's great for both Chintan and me is that we play against guys who are much younger, so it kind of keeps that energy in the legs and
motivated.
Motivated to stay fit and put in that extra effort.
Yeah, Mihir says great interview with Del Monte. How do you think it would have went? How do you think it would have gone if you recorded after Italy got knocked out? पूरा rage stream होता है, I guess. Del Monte would have vented as well. मैं लिख के देता हूँ तुझे. He would have definitely, Ajay bhai, पूरा अलग होता वो episode. I know you asked that Mihir during when the video was premiering as well. I'm glad we shot it before. I'm very glad we shot it before. DJ is more Italian than bald wannabe Pep Spalletti. I just want Spain to win. I don't care whoever won yesterday. I guess most of everyone probably, obviously barring England fans, will root for Spain. This is so. I'll come to you with this, Ajay bhai, because Arun ki comment, obviously Param hiding the pain of France by talking about England and Netherlands, can see it in his eyes. I mean, kya bol sakte hai? But Ajay bhai, that game, let's shift focus to that game here. What like, first of all, I'll come to it directly. Yamal's goal, like, what the hell?
And just imagine, okay, Pedri, who is a short starter of the national team, he gets injured. Okay, freak injury. Danny Olmo comes in, changes, the fate of the quarterfinals, and then in the semis he starts again. I mean, of course, Lamine Yamal का goal तो है ही magical. वो 16 साल का बच्चा है. हम 16 साल की उम्र में घास खाते, all of that. But credit to Danny Olmo, man. I mean, he's come out and he's just kind of like ace, and no one's talking about him. So a bit of respect to his name. Amazing. And I think overall we spoke about this, how Spain have been probably the best team. They've come out of the tiki-taka in this direct way. Very refreshing to see players from Betis, from Bilbao, and yeah, I mean, they deserve the England का चलो बोल सकते हैं कि they scrape through whatever, but Spain, my God, they've been dominant in every game.
Yeah, but Chintan bhai and DJ bhai, any one of you want to answer? Have you must have obviously seen those pictures and all those memes now coming out of Yamal being given a bath by Messi and all that stuff. But what do you for you, is he already one of the clear contenders for the player of the tournament, not just young player, but just on a whole player of the tournament? Because
100%, yeah, boss. That temperament at that age, to play so fearlessly with all the Rabiot trash talking and to show up, not go missing, like it's very easy for a young player to kind of be overshadowed and go missing in these games. But he made himself count, and it's not easy. Physically, the body can take a toll, in such a big game. Mentally, you're stressed. Physically, you're up against guys who are physically stronger than you. But the thing with the case of a player like Yamal is, if he's not taken care of, in the way that that he's handled at the club level, the way that he's handled against and shielded against the press, his development can be affected, So they have to really take care of him after this Euro to make sure that the fame doesn't get to his head. He's still playing as a regular player in Barcelona, and shielding him from that media coverage, which also brings its all kind of pressures, and so young a player can kind of lose himself. He's got a very long way to go before
No, but Deej, that's a good thing about him being at Barcelona, because if you've read Zlatan's autobiography, he said all of the players, they still come in a Fiat, and Zlatan, of course, came in with his Ferrari and all. So I think,
but I don't know. I don't know if that was. I don't know if that was only a Pep thing. I don't know if it was only during the Pep time.
Yeah, but I don't think they have those budding superstars as of now.
Doesn't have a license, I'm assuming.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But temperament, what DJ said, I feel his temperament at this age, at this level, unbelievable. I think you put skills aside. I think you can put skills aside, but to have this temperament, this age, for me, he's already a damn good player now.
Yeah. Pit Lane Chronicles, I know you're an Arsenal fan. We will take your question on Kala Fury when thoda bhi Calcio discussion पे आते. Stay tuned. We'll definitely take it. Ignore नहीं किया है. One good point here, Chintan, I'll come to you before me थोड़ा France के बारे में बात करें और थोड़ा Copa America, and then we'll go. Rajat here says an important point: if Barca keep playing him like Pedri, he might get prone to injuries and end up like another Ansu Fati. Because also with Pedri, obviously overused by his national team, everywhere. One important thing, Chintan bhai, here is for the club and the country to protect the kid, because he's already 16 or already itna khel raha hai. You amp it up, even further injuries become a major concern, right?
Yeah.
Chintan bhai, aapke liye?
Yeah. I feel for him, of course, as DJ said, he has to be handled very nicely, So he has to be taken care of. He can't play 60 games in a season, It's not pretty much, it won't be like that. But I think they know that they've got someone as big as Yamal and this bigger stage. I think they're going to protect him like how they protected Messi. They did a good job with Messi, I feel. They were good with Messi. So I think he's going to be protected well. Pedri, I think Pedri was just, come on, injuries sometimes are bad luck for a player also. You can't compare. Pedri, of course, at that point of time, they were pretty much in a rut. So they had to play him all the game. Pedri and Gavi played a lot of football. So I don't blame them. But yeah, it's okay. Let's see now.
Yeah, I'll just give my 2 cents on France here, because I think we talk about making our own luck. I think France was just pure lucky. There was no way to make your luck over there. I mean, I think quality के वजह से बच रहे थे इधर उधर. Finally, Mbappe scored from assisted from open play, didn't score really. And but apart from that, again, same old. मतलब first half में अच्छा खेले, second half में just again after they conceded the second, there was nothing really I could look at and say कि France is going to make a comeback. And I think it's only fair that they didn't make it to the final in that regard. मतलब Deschamps, if you read the news, he is going to continue until the end of the 2026 World Cup. उसका contract है. I think if they could have let him go. Yeah, uska contract hai na, and they're going to continue. They're not terminating. I think if they could have, they should have probably tried to convince Zidane and get him there, because he wants to coach France.
Yeah.
I think this would have been the right time for the change, but wo lag nahi raha hai. So hopefully Deschamps, changes his mind, because एकदम बहुत randomness था उस दिन भी. Last में जब चाहिए था तभी Giroud को खिलाया. Full tournament he didn't play him. DJ Bhai brought up Rabiot. My God, I'm pretty sure DJ Bhai in a way is thoda relieved that he's gone from UA. Because that attitude over there, I don't know what goes on with him. I mean, he's that kind of a player. But apart in France, I can only say, you can only say the defense was the real highlight. And Kante in midfield. Theo tha, Maignan tha. Kunde was good up until the game against Spain. And your even Saliba was good. But apart from that, no one really stood out. So I think it was only fair.
I think, listen, Param, I think what people don't realize is, and I think DJ will agree for sure, dude, they were missing Pogba. He such a huge player for France. He does so much. And I love Jude Bellingham. I think I'm a big fan of Jude Bellingham. But boss, जो उसको hype मिला है वो Pogba को नहीं मिला था. And of course, Pogba got pretty much famous after he moved to United. But he was a monster. He used to do two people's role. वो number 6 भी करता है, number 8 भी करता है. Amazing. Great job. I think they missed him.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, a lot of balance. And Kante got that freedom. You saw so many times Kante was in a position of taking shots. And everyone knows great player Kante, but he's terrible at taking shots, man. But that
Yeah,
Mbappe, someone wrote on the comment that Mbappe miss that should
yeah,
have been a
shocker.
goal. Both Mbappe and Theo
Yeah,
had a chance.
yeah. Yeah, France didn't deserve it यार. बहुत simple है. I think Didier Deschamps को थोड़ा bold decisions लेने चालू करना पड़ेगा, but I don't think he's that kind of a guy. If he has a system in place, he plays it, and that's it. But I think we'll move on from that.
But
Yeah, do we want to?
Param,
Do we
also
want?
just
Yeah,
one thing there where let's not forget that France is one bad coach away from becoming the new Belgium.
yeah,
What
fair
typically happens is when and that's why like a coach like Deschamps, he's a leader by default, right? Like he's
enough.
been captain at Juventus. He's
Yeah,
that persona, and you need a guy like that at the helm to keep when you have so many prima donnas in the dressing room. You need like a guy who's a little bit of a disciplinarian, who will be a little rigid with them, will limit their movement, keep them compact, because what happens with individual brilliance is you don't play for the team, you don't play as a collective. You play, if not individual glory, you just play in the moment for yourself. And I think
fair enough.
France, because of the amount of talent, they are very capable of doing that. Let's not forget, boss, Mbappe is what is he? He thinks he's the president of now. I'd love to see his transition at Madrid. you know
Yeah,
the free run that he had at PSG, mentality needs to be controlled and regulated. So you need a very strong manager at the national team level.
Mhm. Let's close this Euros ka discussion with the predictions, Ajay bhai. Let's take the finals ka predictions. Is it coming home or not this time around?
Spain 2-0.
Chintan bhai.
Man, I think Spain might dominate the game, but I think Spain might. I think Spain might. You see, they might have all the possession and all. England know how to sit back. I think
Yeah.
luckily we've seen this tiki taka Spain play another game also. But
Mm.
it's a final. Anything can happen. And England have been here. They know their mistakes. They've rectified it. And
Mm.
the thing which no one wants to hear. I think it's coming home. Finally, they're going to win a trophy. England. I'm going with
Yeah,
England 2-1.
I don't know how, but I think it's coming home. Kaise bhi ho, shithousery or whatever, but I definitely think this time it is their trophy. DJ bhai, what do you think?
Guys, I feel like it's written in the stars. The
Yeah.
the way kind of the game gives a feeling of just the way like England is peaking and Spain
Yeah.
being on, they've kind of peaked. They are also, don't forget the fatigue. I mean, both teams have come in with a little fatigue.
Yeah. Yeah.
All games going so deep. England
Mm.
is like mentally, I think they've done the penalty shootout, they've done the extra time, they've done the 90th minute winner. So that whole gamut has kind of given them the little bit of extra bounce and character. And final, they're going in, yeah, nothing to lose. We're the underdogs.
Yeah.
It's a good place to be in a final. I see the game go deep, and I think
Mm.
England will push for penalties and probably win it on penalties. It is
Fair
coming
enough.
home, yeah.
Yeah. People are saying 2-1 Spain, 2-0 Spain. Rajat says, no way Kane is still winning a trophy. Quite something if he doesn't win a trophy, यार. मतलब Bundesliga में भी रह गया बायर्न के लिए बेचारे का अजय भाई, and it will be something if this guy doesn't win another trophy.
अलग
I mean,
jinx
but
रहेगा if he doesn't. It'll be
अलग
different.
jinx, yeah. But अजय भाई किसके बारे में अभी बात करनी है? थोड़ा कैल्शियो पे आना है, फिर कोपा अमेरिका पे जाते हैं एंड में.
Let's do Calcio, man. That's what we're here for.
Let's get it. थोड़े comments ले लेता हूँ. Let's go to it. फिर उसके बाद Rodri has always been so underrated, overshadowed by KDB, Holland, Lamine, Nico. I think Rodri का underrated time गया भूतिया 16. I think उसको अभी बहुत enough credit भी मिलता है.
हाँ, बहुत credit मिलता है उसको यार.
वही. So we'll start with Calafiori का लेता हूँ, just एक दो और comments लेके. Swarnim Bhai had said something above. He said, I played in Swiss 4th division. Wow, quite something. Yeah.
So Swarnim is one of the most underrated guys. If you know him, he's a coach.
Yeah.
He's done matches in Italy. He had invested in a amateur club in Italy.
Yeah.
Also does football coaching in India, in Madhya Pradesh. So, bhai, follow Swarnim. He's there on Twitter. He's there on Instagram. Fabulous guy. Always nice to speak to. He supports Juve. That's
the
apart from that, he's a solid guy. But jokes aside, but very like complete respect to what he's been doing in terms of football and culture.
I have not met him. Arun has definitely during the football.
Yeah.
He's also a big troll, just like you. I mean, there's no difference, I guess, over there. But chalo, let's get to the Calcio talk, guys. बहुत सारी चीजें आ रही. We'll close it with Copa America, obviously.
Yeah.
तो
You,
पहले अरुण से Taremi and
you want,
Zalewski.
let's start with this.
हाँ, मैं बस बोला था Zalewski क्या बोल
Let's
रहे हैं
start
बे
with this.
Zielinski. Yeah. Taremi and Zielinski जिंदाबाद. But let's get to it, Ajay. We'll talk about Como to Varane. I'll start with you. I'll
Yeah.
start with Chintan Bhai. Fees there. Chintan Bhai, are you? Is all good?
Yes,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. चलो तो आपसे पूछ लेता हूँ. क्या लगता है आपको? Because it looks like Rafael Varane has turned down the Saudi Pro League to sign for Como. Most likely it should be done. Any thoughts on this? Because Como have already signed Belotti and they're trying to do a lot of innovative things here. What do you think of this move?
First of all, if he does that, it's I think he pretty much shows that he wants to stay in the mix of things, playing for the love of the sport, I'm guessing. Plus, what a beautiful place to go, yeah. It's very difficult to turn down something like a Como, man. Look at like it's and Fabregas did this, so I'm not surprised, to be honest. Of course, he's made a lot of it is about money, of course, eventually, but then it depends on your love for the game. So it won't be surprising to see him play over there. I know, like probably one season, and then he can eventually move to Saudi League. So I guess it won't be a surprise for me. It will be a great for the league also, because I still think he has it in him. He could have gone to a Fiorentina also. I think would have done well there also. He still has it in him to do well. So I think it's a great signing, man. Won't be like I hope it's not like a Boateng signing, man. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and as you can see, I mean, मैंने Transfermarkt pull up के only because most of the rumors they put up are from credible sources. But Ajay भाई, Como के मरकातो पे Rafael Varane चलो एक पकड़ के चलो. So far, it's been थोड़ा decent in the sense for a club that is trying to survive. Docena, Strefezza, Belotti, household names. What do you think? And also, they've gotten Pau Lopez, the goalkeeper. What do you make of it?
Pau Lopez had a terrible run at Roma.
Yeah, I know.
but
exactly.
I think Como are going to go the Monza way. Even when Monza got promoted, obviously they were back under Chintan knows them very well, Berlusconi and Galliani. So they know how to kind of like obviously with Milan they achieved a lot of great things, but their objective was always, I think, a bit more than survival. Mid-table aspirations. So I think Como obviously are backed by wealthy Indonesian owners, and I think they've got some decent people running behind the scenes. And like Belotti hai, I think Patrick Cutrone already hai वहाँ पे Como में. So I expect them to do quite well. I mean, I'm assuming that they're going to have a good start and then kind of wane off and finish somewhere in mid-table.
Yeah, and speaking of Como, क्योंकि लोग पूछेंगे Como का कोच कौन है, Fabregas has been confirmed, and on that note, अजय भाई ने मेरे साथ थोड़ी दिन पहले वो इमेज शेयर की थी. I'll just pull that up. All coaches in the Serie A have been pretty much confirmed. अजय भाई, can you share that with me? कहीं तो या फिर आप ही pull up कर दो if you can, because this for some reason is not sharing.
WhatsApp पे भी जाता ना.
हाँ, तब तक मैं comments ले लेता हूँ. So also just to add my 2 cents, Como पहले तो है ना. I know everybody is Chintan by looking forward to that beautiful stadium, but Como is not going to play there, at least in the beginning. वो लोग घटिया हेलास वेरोना के स्टेडियम में खेलने वाले, unfortunately, because Bentagordi. They from going to that beautiful stadium in Como and to Bentagordi is quite hilarious. But yeah, the Como stadium does not meet a lot of standards. Venezia ka stadium has the approval to go ahead, but Como's doesn't. So yeah, but DJ bhai, quick thoughts on Varane to Como. What do you make of it? Because seems like Como are ambitious to at least try to stay or get a mid-table finish here.
I don't even know if it's the start of something. Yeah, I feel like for Varane, it's more like to be honest, I think it's more like a lifestyle choice.
Fair
enough. Look at the place.
Like who doesn't want to live like that? Yeah, he's made his money. He's had the glory. Taking nothing away from Como's ambitions, but I feel like it's just a lifestyle choice to wind down rather than go to the MLS. This is just like a more romantic.
But DJ, you sell a lot of jerseys, huh? Like you sell a lot of jerseys when you have a 3-peat Champions League winner, playing for you, World Cup winner.
Oh no, 100%. But I feel like it's just that, nothing more. And I don't think they're going to make any waves or anything, and I don't think it's going to be a game changer, unfortunately, for them.
Yeah. Swarnim says Como and Monza are fierce rivals. Very true. I mean, टेक्निकली जोग्राफिकली वो सबके साथ उनकी राइवलरी हो ही जाती है बिकॉज कोमो इज वेरी क्लोज टू मिलान एंड एवरीथिंग. सो या दिस इज द इमेज अजय भाई पुल्ड अप. थोड़ा जूम इन कर सकते हो अगर अजय भाई तो. सो ऑल कोचेस फॉर ऑल क्लब्स हैव बीन कंफर्म. जैसे आप देख सकते हो अल्फाबेटिकल ऑर्डर में अटलांटा के लिए गैस्परिनी स्टेज, इटालियानो विंचेंजो इटालियानो इज द न्यू कोच ऑफ बोलोनिया. डेविडे निकोला जो हमेशा सेरिया क्लब्स को रेलेगेशन से बचाता है इज मूव टू कैलियरी. ही वाज गोइंग टू स्टे एट एम्पोली बट कैलियरी ने बहुत पुश करके कन्विंस किया. Fabregas को उसका प्रो लाइसेंस मिल गया आई थिंक ऑलरेडी, सो दैट्स व्हाई ही इज बीन कंफर्म्ड. चिंतन भाई any thoughts on, ठीक है डायवर्सा स्टेज एट एम्पोली, आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी साइडवेज मूव, बट any thoughts on this? I'll ask DJ भाई, any thoughts on Palladino at Fiorentina, because Palladino को बहुत रेट करते हैं. I feel at least this is a good step. What do you make of it?
No, 100%. I agree with you, Param. I also kind of rate him. I think he is now in the next generation of hot coaches who are going to come through. He needs the right kind of continuity. I think if he gets the right personnel and support at Fiorentina, he will make an impact. I think he's. I don't want to say he's the new De Zerbi, but I think he's going to have his own unique school of thought coming through, and I think he will get a little bit of recognition if he gets the next 2 years at Fiorentina. He will have the right visibility and exposure.
Fair enough. Ajay, I want to ask you.
To be fair, the ball that Monza played is amazing. Like very impressive. I was very impressed with him.
The key word you said is support, because बार-बार ऐसे बाहर से लगता है ना कि Comiso is always talking, but he never backs it up. Hopefully for Palladino's sake, he backs it up. But Ajay, I want to come to you before I go to Chintan bhai. Cilardino stays at Genoa. He signed an extension. But very important, Ajay bhai, because Genoa went under the radar, I'll be very honest. They came back from relegation to finish 11th, and he played quite a good brand of football. He made life hard for, I remember, Inter and Juve couldn't win at the Marassi. Even Roma lost.
Roma even 4-1. Jose Mourinho.
Even Milan won. Chintan bhai will remember. वो थोड़ा एकदम अजीब win थी वो थोड़ी. Handball का controversy था उधर. But that's obviously a season ago, so it's okay. But Ajay bhai, Gilardino, I mean, very underrated job he's doing there. What do you make of it? I know he's lost a couple of players here and then he might lose one more. क्या लगता है आपको इसके बारे में?
He's lost a couple of strands of hair also from his but again he comes from that school of young Italian managers. Obviously he's I think the third 2006 World Cup winner, De Rossi, Nesta, also there in this year's roster at the moment. So I to be very honest, I never thought Gilardino would cut it as a coach, given his players. When you observe some players, say De Rossi or Nesta, you know that they have a coach's brain. But with Gilardino, we always thought he's the more flamboyant kind. But credit, he's actually stabilized the ship at Genoa. Pun intended, because Genoa is a port city. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad he's staying another year with Genoa. Probably looking for that step up in the ladder. I don't know. He could go to Milan. He could go to one of the bigger clubs. After this, if he has another good season with them. So really excited to see Gilardino kind of progress in his managerial journey.
Mm-hmm. I'll come to Zanetti, Inzaghi, Motta thoda before I ask Chintan, but I'll come to Chintan by first. Obviously, talk of the town, because लोग चाहते कि हम लोग अपने कोचेस के बारे में बात करें, प्लेयर्स के बारे में. तो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद योर टीम ओनली, चिंतन भाई. एसी मिलान, फोंसेका फाइनली आ गया. एंड द वर्स्ट पार्ट यार, चिंतन भाई यार, ट्विटर पे क्या ट्रेंड कर रहा था उसके बारे में. People are talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know if DJ Bhai uses Twitter and if he saw it, but the main talk of the town was Fonseca's, should I say it, balls, pretty much. What the hell was that, yeah? Not figuratively, literally, Chintan Bhai. Like, what do we even say there?
It was actually so funny, welcoming him, and he's bending down, and they've zoomed in. It was hilarious, actually. Only happens in Serie A. I wanted to say that, but see, listen, I know what we had a discussion with.
Hey, don't pull an image. Don't pull an image.
No. I don't say it anymore, bro. I think, yeah. So जैसे रोनाल्डो ने किया था ना वो celebration after defeating Atletico Madrid. I have balls ऐसा felt like that, but yeah. On a serious note. Pioli had stagnated. I think he stayed there for a season which shouldn't have stayed. and I think he should have moved on. Fonseca, I don't think he's a sidestep, but he's not a big step forward. He did well with Lille. I think his Lille was very interesting to watch, although they messed up the qualification in the last day. I think in the last day they lost. I think they messed up their UCL qualification. So I'm very positive because needed a change of coach, and I think he's a tactician more, Fonseca. So that is what I'm happy about because Pioli was a great man manager. He guided these kids very well. But now I think even players like Liao and all, they need that leap. I think they're done the year. They need that leap, and I think Liao, sabne dekha, he has flashes of talent. He can't just convert it, So he needs that. So I'm very excited. 4-2-3-1 is his system and looks like, and what I saw 1-2-3 1 hour का उसका training clip था. So what I saw was individually काफी he's paying attention to individual players. So that felt like a good thing. But as you said, out of all these managers, I'm very excited for Gilardino. I loved Genoa last season. Amazing to watch.
Yeah, very
I think
underrated.
very underrated. And it was fun to watch them. People forget, as you said, they've just got promoted. So I'm very excited for Gilardino. And as Ajay said, if he does well, you never know, maybe next Milan manager or something. But please, let's just say that when I don't know what if Venezia had done, Vanoli ko chhod ke Di Francesco.
वो आता हूँ, उस पे आता हूँ. I will, because I do not like Di Francesco, but I'll come to it. I'll come to DJ by first. We'll cover the other coaches as well because DJ by obviously एकदम जब announcement हुई थी, obviously we were still in the Serie A season, sort of. It has just ended. But what are your early thoughts on Thiago Motta and the way generally UA are so far doing on the market, and what are your expectations, early expectations? Let's go down that path.
Param, hard to say. It's been 4 years now, and I think really this is really ground zero, so to speak, for the club. I think you have a new DS, and his vision of football is very different than the vision of football that has been at the club for the last 10 to 15 years. That was more a vision of consolidating. It was a very Italian-driven vision. I'm loving the thought of Juve shaking things up from the ground up because I love the way Motta approaches mentally, temperamentally, the way he sees football as fast and dynamic. Funnily enough, he did his thesis the same time as Pirlo did. There's only one guy who got a higher rating than Pirlo, and that was Motta by 1 point. When they were studying. And the value of the ball is what his thesis is called. I like the way that he's gone about it in the sense that what is positive is the fact that A, he plays a certain type of football. That brand of football is very positive. B is he's not just coming and inheriting a Juve team and then shaking them up and say, okay, now we'll play. If it's not really 2-7-2, but because that's more like a horizontal shape than it is a vertical shape. But he's not coming in and saying, okay, this lot of players is going. He's got a very specific personnel in mind, and I think also if you infer what his inspiration has been, that mix is also very interesting. The likes of Gasperini, Pep. It's a good mix to see. That's the kind of football and brand of football he wants to bring to the club. I'm loving what we're doing in midfield. There's Luis, Kefren, Thuram, and moving very fast. So there's obviously a very premeditated course of action, which means there's a very clear vision map. And I think every time you have that, I think that is the first foundation that you're laying for, a successful run. What my expectations are, I would say,
just early thoughts.
I think top 3, top 2 is realistic. Is it on par with Inter yet? No. I think the joker in the pack for me is Coop Miners. If he comes, the numbers are fabulous. I don't know how he will transition into Juve. I don't know. I like to, and he's the most pivotal, part of Motta's plan. So that's the only catch. I feel if he clicks, this is going to be a very European Juventus. Which is actually what I'm most excited about. And Calafiori is the other, that real missing link. I think to really make the jump up, and it'll really bridge the gap with Inter if they can sign him. But I feel like their focus will be more on the RB position, and I think currently, of course, there's talk of Todibo after losing Calafiori.
Sean Clare,
So also not a bad fit
Yeah.
under the
No, I think.
circumstances.
Yeah, but
So Giuntoli has been very astute, and I think he's the real unsung hero of this
yeah,
Mercato.
of course, of course.
It's
I
very
remember
clear
he's
that
yeah. Go ahead, DJ.
he buys into Motta's vision, and I think when that happens, it's a very good, grounding for a successful run.
Yeah. या सचिन वी विल कम टू थोड़ा ट्रांसफर्स थोड़ा अलग से एक दो ब्रीफली हर एक क्लब का लेंगे पहले थोड़ा कोचेस के थ्रू रन अप करें बिकॉज सब कोचेस कंफर्म हो गए बट आई अग्री विद डीजे भाई जस्ट ब्रीफली आई थिंक फॉर हेल्लास वेरोना Zanetti Paolo Zanetti is a very sideways move I really don't see a vision in that club leaving my bias against them aside again because he's not a specialist at anything he's not saved any club from any relegation again it goes hand in hand with their very bad financial situation I guess but time
I
will
hope
tell
they
us
go down.
huh
I hope they get relegated this year.
Yeah, and
everyone does.
because they sold a lot like मतलब वो लोग Lazio को तो players देते जा रहे left right center we'll come to Lazio and I'll ask Ajay bhai only about Lazio in a bit it'll be fun but just to cover Inter simply enough Simone Inzaghi obviously stays उसका extension I think should officially come in a week or so before the season begins he'll
But
sign until 20
Param,
हाँ
but
बोलो
don't you think like मेरे मन में एक अजय यही चल रहा है like I think if you see so many new names here
yeah.
across everywhere ये stability मतलब जो इंटर को जो stability मिल रहा है do you think and plus you already made signings this is before the season started before the transfer started you guys had done so Param I'm asking you does that think it's a big advantage Inter has over like take for a Milan or a Juventus because new coaches new mentality coming in so do you think Inter has a added advantage after how they've played last season and how they've bought new players
I get where you're coming from. Familiarity बहुत important रहता है, but I mean, if you consider last season we changed what 13, 14 players. I mean, it still worked to our advantage. So I don't want to discount this factor that someone like a Milan or Juve, because only they've changed players and coaches, they will be at a massive disadvantage. I feel at times fresh faces coming in makes a huge difference as well. वो stagnation हट जाता है, like especially for Juve and Milan, I feel because Milan really needed to move on from Pioli as well as he did. Even for Juve, after that whole financial situation, for us. I think keeping Inzaghi is important. Obviously, उसका extension आ जाए 2026 तक. For me, it's about I still feel एक दो places में improve करना है. I really hope कैसे तो Arnautovic को निकाल दे club से फिर वो Goodmanson पे we can go all in. But it's not happening. Goodmanson is not happening unless Arnautovic leaves. I'm very happy with Taremi because he's one of my favorite modern day players over the last few years. I think very important signing थी. Obviously, goal में Josep Martinez sign किया Genoa का first choice goalkeeper. For he's going to be the future keeper next season onwards. But still an important signing. अभी biggest problem right now is Tejon Buchanan's injury because वो just आया था club में and some idiot in the Canadian team tackled him really hard and he's out for 4 to 6 months. So now you have to invest in another defender. So right now the club is pondering किस profile को sign करे. Should we sign a center back? Should we sign a wing back? Remains to be seen. Midfield is fine. I just feel if they can get rid of Arnautovic, upgrade एक center back. De Vrij को अगर बेच सकते हो because apparently he had a good Euros up until yesterday. Saudi clubs want him. If you can get 10-12 million there, sign an upgrade. More nothing like it. Then if at least one of that striker or center back position is fixed, I feel then I would say we have a clear advantage. But I still feel it'll be a close race. I don't think we are like ekdam clear cut favorites. I think that would be very
Being very humble. Being very
Yeah,
I
humble.
was just shit Ajay I was just going to ask you don't you think Param is being too nice and humble
Very nice. Very humble.
मेरे को लगा ऐसा
The
बोलेगा
thing
कि you guys fight for 2, 3 and 4
Guys,
title
it's not humility. He's anti-jinxing it. He's
Yeah,
just
and-
waiting for that tempered expectations. But Param, Inter
Whoa.
are clear.
That is Arun. Arun is like before every game, Inter going to lose 2-0.
Yeah.
Right, but
What
on a serious
Chintan's
note,
point is, Param is very valid. That continuity gives you the start. Basically, all the fresh teams, all that fresh impetus that we talk about now, that takes little time. That bonding to happens by Christmas.
Yeah.
By which time Inter can be far and ahead. They can be +7,
Yeah,
off the
but
pack.
DJ,
They will start very consistently.
that's a valid point. It remains to be seen what they do when the time actually comes. एक और चीज मैं बोलना चाहता हूँ DJ भाई, for our clubs, we also have to play the Club World Cup at the end of the season. So it's a very packed schedule. Whereas for Milan, obviously they have the UCL, but थोड़ा less stringent and with the squad Milan are aiming to build. चलो, I know Chintan भाई will be frustrated. अभी तक एक player ढंग का आया नहीं है ये वो. But it's not like Milan won't make signings here. We all know they eventually will get their
भाई we are
players.
linked with क्या मतलब लिंक भी थोड़े डिसेंट से I just read a report saying that we asked Arda Güler from Real Madrid. अरे भाई थोड़ा ब्रायन डियाज नहीं दे रहे हैं, तुम आर्दा गुलर पे चले गए हो, मतलब थोड़ा
वही मैं बोल
रियलिस्टिक
रहा
करो यार.
Yeah, Chintan, you have to please throw some light on that I show speed and Zlatan thing, man.
Oh yeah, let's come to that. Thoda. My God, did you guys? If for those in the chat, did you guys see ISO Speed hanging out with Zlatan? And Chintan, bhai, you can.
First of all, I could sense it that Zlatan is going to turn around and slap him anytime. You know, especially in the car. He kept on pushing. Do you know Virat Kohli? Do you know Virat Kohli?
Oh my God.
He wanted to slap him and he said, no disrespect, but I don't watch that sport. And he's the goated player. Arey bhai, usko nahi pata. And he's so cringe, yaar. You know, the speed is so cringe. Like, मेरे को Drake चलेगा यार, वो speed नहीं चलेगा मुझे. Drake जाता है, I know, पनौती लेके आता है.
He's very good friends with Leo, na, and दो memes तो बनते रहती है और उस पे.
अरे वो तो क्या Leo तो rapping, but that's what ना, he's of course he's doing this. He's got a lot of footage and of course Ronaldo का तो मतलब भक्त है वो. But you know what happens? It is not Zlatan's personality. That's also the shocking part. It's look at Zlatan how he is. You know, he's like this. I am God and I am this and that. And ये speed कैसा है अपना मतलब that car, especially that car shoot, like the car video, where like, you know, it was so great.
No space between them, and he goes on about.
Yeah, that was funny. I'll be fair. That was funny. I agree.
And exactly what DJ, good you pointed out, because I was going to say, why is he sticking to sit on the other side of the car? Why is and he's like, you don't know Virat Kohli? Arey bhai, nahi pata hai usko. He said he doesn't follow cricket.
Yeah,
goated is goated, yeah, but I had to.
It only becomes funnier because that guy has Portuguese origin. And then when you look at Milan has a Portuguese coach, Portuguese star on the pitch, right? It just gets hilarious from there. But I think to close that, यार Inter का I think I agree. थोड़ा set तो है. It's just about how we show up. I hope we can. वो देखते हैं Champions League को कैसे balance करते. That's key I feel. But Ajay, I want to move on to you because obviously Roma के लिए बड़ी news सबसे obviously ठीक है चलो आपका पहला second signing Enzo Lafay हो गया है. And before that I think confirmation of De Rossi was the most important thing, right? What do you make of that?
Who was the first signing? First signing कौन था रोमा का?
वो तो था, but Angelino confirmation was technically a
right? Technically.
Angelino is the same Leipzig guy? Man City ex.
He was the उसको confirm किया. Decent guy to have. Obviously because Spinazzola was constantly injured in that position. So, I think De Rossi is going to go with the back four. So yeah, again, open secret. Yeah, De Rossi was going to get a long-term contract, succeeding from Mourinho. And I think we did this in our stream, Param. Apan ne kiya the points per game. De Rossi finished fourth. Would have finished third, barring that last day defeat, which meant nothing. For Empoli, it meant everything. They survived. But otherwise, you know, his points per game was pretty much higher than Mourinho. And a breath of fresh air tha. I think I don't want to dwell on the past about how Roma were with Mourinho. We look ahead now. बस हो गया यार, तो बहुत हम लोग ने you know ये कर दिया, उसको stretch कर दिया. तो yeah, Gisolfi problem. हाँ, मतलब forget it. So you know Gisolfi आ गया, interesting signings like Enzo Lafay को तो मैंने, to be honest, YouTube highlights are not the indicator of how good a player is, but definitely exciting things because overall even अगर मैं targets भी study करूँ, I mean I'm not going with Roma press alone, but it looks like a very promising summer, and if we manage to get rid of some you know like players on high wages, so
अच्छा मेरे को पूछा था टैमी का क्या है सीन? Is still a Roma player trying to get rid of him?
Still a Roma player. Roma trying to ship him out, preferably to the Premier League because Premier League clubs have money. If he wants to stay in Italy, Milan becomes a viable option. But
there
is
talk of UA. There is talk of UA.
There's talk of UA, AJ, because Motta likes his profile. You know, striker can run at the defense. So he'd be a very interesting understudy to Vlahovic.
I like the boy, man. He's good. Unfortunately, got an ACL injury and he missed pretty much the whole of last season. So before that, I mean, he didn't get the goals maybe, but I like the kid and I hope that he remains a Roma player. But if not, I hope that the board managed to find some cash for him in whatever transfer.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But Ajay, bhai, any just to close Roma out, because Gisolfi takes a lot of inspiration from the Atalanta model. So आप एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हो वैसे टाइप और ज्यादा साइनिंग्स आएंगे इस विंडो में, या आप एक्सपीरियंस करो एक दो वेटरन के लिए जगह है मे बी अगर पॉसिबल हो तो?
Looks very difficult to get in any veterans per se. I feel
Yeah.
it's going to be a transfer which is more, I would say, getting in young talents, probably increasing their market value. That's how typically Hisolfi works. But having said that, I think there are already the foundation is strong. For
Yeah.
example, you have Svilar, who's pretty much going to be first choice. You have got your pillars who are Pellegrini,
Yeah.
Mancini.
Yeah.
Of course, now since Lukaku is not there, you need to find a
Very
strike
nice.
partner alongside Dybala. So
Hmm.
keep an eye out for Baldar.
Chiesa.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
come to that. Good one, Chintan bhai. Chiesa, I mean, this goes for, let's keep this a short discussion between DJ and Ajay bhai, because DJ bhai obviously Chiesa ऐसा लग रहा है he's pretty much on his way out, but अभी latest news आई है कि he still wants to try to convince Mota, obviously, for like a last chance. But then on the other spectrum, when it comes to Roma, he's not against joining Roma, but he still wants to wait for like a Champions League club. Is the thought going on, at least per reports? आप दोनों के लिए, what do you see happening here, यार?
Guys, it's a very before Euro and after Euro situation. So what really happened is there were two things. One was the fact that, of course, Chiesa, appropriated himself with being the mainstay at Juve. Of course, he's been struggling with injury, and I think when the talk of renewal came, he's pushing for a lot more money. And Juventus obviously are actually looking for a shorter contract before they decide
Yes.
whether to pay him more or not. And
Yeah.
in whatever Josh, he went and made some bold statements about how it's going to be his Euro. At which point Juve also decided to hold back and really see how that plays out. The second part of the discussion is how he really fits in Motta's system, which he does not.
Yeah.
I think from
That's
the get-go, there's a lot of clarity coming from the coach that, and it's unfortunate because I'm a huge fan of Chiesa, but he has struggled because since the injury, and Motta's been very clear because what he needs from his wing players is a lot of defensive support, which is not Chiesa's key characteristic, which is what has enlisted him in the market, and I think that's when reality really hits home because what he's realized is that. A shit Euro has not really helped his contract situation at Juve, and also it's not affected his perception elsewhere. So there are no real big offers coming in from England. Juve has actually cut his price. The price
Yeah.
is now between 25 and 30. You'd expect Chiesa to go for no less than 50, 60 in today's market. That hasn't happened. There was discussion and there was little news filtering in about how Dybala made a call to him and said, "Let's have fun at Roma." But I think also it is a consideration for any player at Chiesa's age. That step has to be. He has to want to play in the Champions League. At the moment, Roma are not there. He wants that, I think, and I think maybe that's where the debate lies. I think in terms of club, the city it's a great move for him. I'm sure that he'd be open to it from that perspective. They're offering him a very close salary to what he already is at Juve. I think what I read was they're offering him about 5.5 million. So
But
I think that jump is also not substantial, and then not to be playing in the Champions League, which is why you have to hedge your bets and say, okay, should I just stay at Juve and try and prove myself, which is my best bet to get that contract that I want. But I'm not sure because Motta has kind of decided to bank on Sule more than
Yeah.
Chiesa, and
Let's see, DJ bhai, because there are other links for that position as well. You never know at the end
नहीं,
of
but
the
you
day.
there's
DJ
talk
मेरे को
of El
DJ
Sharawi, yeah, Param. There's El Sharawi
Too many
Kostic का
players,
swap की बात हो रही है, and
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is such a, it's so
Rajat brought it up.
specific. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think that's more like supporting Yildiz than anything else,
Yeah.
because it's
But
going to be a long
DJ,
season.
my question to you is, and I think to all of us, especially even Ajay, because the links with him, are we all Italian Nazionale fans still in that bubble that Chiesa is the same player as he was, and we have a
That's a
lot
good
of
question.
expectation from him?
That's a
Jaise
good
Boldo, you said 40, 50 DJ, I don't see any big clubs coming out for him. Chiesa was a huge player back before his injury. So don't you think that from his career perspective, go to Roma, get your career back on track. It's a great club. There will be less pressure comparatively when it comes to Juve. You will be star over there. Look at Dybala, how he's worshipped. So Ajay, what do you think? Do you think all of us are in a bubble that okay, Chiesa is so good? Chiesa, I know he's a great player. He's still a good player, but I feel वो थोड़ा stagnant हो गया है because of his injury. He's a little stagnant. So do you think Ajay, he first of all that okay, he's not a 40-50 million player. 25 would be a great bid for him.
Probably, man, probably. And let's not forget that under Allegri, Chiesa was probably mismanaged, not playing in his best position also. But obviously, it changes with Mota coming in. Mota being much more attack-minded, for the lack of a better word. But yeah, मेरे हिसाब से तो I love the kid from a Roma perspective. So it makes so much of sense to get him on board. I think we've been missing a player who's got that pace and explosiveness. Again, I still have faith in the guy. Maybe yes, it's not the same pre-ACL Chiesa, but he still has those moments of magic. And De Rossi has worked with him in the national team very closely. So overall, I think if Juve are not giving him that priority for him, go to somewhere where he is priority, like you rightly said with Dybala as well. It just makes sense to come in and join Roma and get his career back on track. And you never know, man. I mean, things can happen. He's still 25, 26. Italians age like fine wine. So we could still probably have a very different version of Chiesa.
Hey, answer this question, Ajay. This is a very important question.
The problem with Chiesa is that his entire game is reliant on speed. So that physical aspect is something where if he is injury plagued, Dybala's game is not reliant on speed. So it is more a visionary game. It is more about cutting in, beating your man. Chiesa is all out speed. If you lose those afterburners, Chiesa is a very one-dimensional player. Then a very similar mold to, if you guys remember, Krasic. If you take away Krasic's speed, what is he as a player, right? And I think that is the and of course we all criticized Allegri and stuff, but obviously Mota also seeing the same thing Allegri saw, and then Juve cutting his price and people still not coming in. Yeah, it is very significant and suggestive of really where Chiesa is in his career at this moment in time. It's very unfortunate because he's definitely worth more than 25 million as a player in terms of when we've seen him at the height of his powers. But where he is today is a very sad reality of a post-ACL player,
Yeah, that's very true. Thode comments le lete hain because people have said a lot of interesting things. Swarnim Bhai says, apart from the soap opera at Naples, I'm excited to see how Nesta does. Good point. Kyunki Nesta, I mean, he's had an all-right career as a coach, I would say. I think Monza एक अच्छा step है. I think he just coached Reggiana, उसने ठीक किया है. उसके पहले Frosinone भी. So I think Monza he's in a pretty much in a familiar environment with the people working there. So I think it's a decent hire. Dekhte, hopefully he can do better over there. Would be quite the hire. Palladino is going to use back three system. हाँ, वो Fiorentina को उधर बड़ा change लगेगा, says Haryanvi Jad. Arun Krishnan, वो context हो, I think you pretty much understood Fonseca का. Yeah, I just want to answer his question here. If Pit Lane Chronicles, I know you asked about Calafiori and you're an Arsenal fan, right? We'll come to Napoli. But how I see fitting him at Arsenal, because you guys have had that tendency to use Tomiyasu at left back here and there when Tierney gets injured and whatnot. So I think Calafiori usi mold mein aata hai. Again, the question is who gets benched, obviously, because you already have a stacked squad at the back, especially.
I think I think Param, I think Gabriel is very error prone, so I'm sure he agrees. I watch a lot of Arsenal games.
I
put him in, and Saliba is so strong. He's so positionally brilliant, and if he's good and Calafiori bombing up and down, because that'll be an added midfielder what he actually likes, So I would be not surprised if he's a centre back only for them.
Fair enough. I'm not ruling that out, Chintan bhai. I just feel usko left में अगर आप खेलते देखोगे तो surprise मत होना. That's all I'm saying.
He started as left back only, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. इसीलिए मुझे लग रहा है because वो आर्टेटा को वो versatility लगती है अपने टीम में. I feel
very similar to what Guardiola is going to play. I mean,
Yeah,
Guardiola.
वही बास्टोनी मोल्ड में वो अभी आ रहा है ना, बास्टोनी ग्वार्डियोल मोल्ड में आ रहा है वो कालाफियोरी. So don't be surprised कि वो चिंतन भाई वो दोनों पोजीशन में खेले. That I think both of us pretty much are spot on here. But yeah, I think that's to talk about Calafiori. Arun says Milan is going balls out this season. DJ bhai, let's hope we get Coop and a good right back, says Swarnim. Milan के मोराता इस पे आते सचिन थोड़ी देर में. How is the other Thuram brother? We'll do ना. मैं अजय भाई के साथ उस दिन डिस्कस कर रहा था. We will do थोड़ा इन डेप्थ प्लेयर प्रोफाइल्स के अलग स्ट्रीम्स या प्रीमियर्स ऑफ वीडियोस. चिंतन भाई डीजे भाई विल डू समथिंग like a proper breakdown.
They're very. I what I saw of Kefram, he looks like a very strong player. Like size does not suggest it.
Very astute signing, guys. Very astute.
Yeah, he's a he's like
funnily enough, Param, you might not like this, but his first words as a Juve player today was I was just seeing this thing, and obviously he said my father says there's no better club in Italy than Juve, or Juve is the best, or whatever, obvious reasons, but. But it's very interesting because for the father to see now both his sons competing, that's it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Because it's funny also because Marcus commented on the UA's post below Thuram's unveiling wala post, and he said, "I'm just here to see the comments." He knew obviously it's going to be something very funny, but that's brother. He's obviously happy for his brother. Yeah, how can he not be happy for his brother?
Of course.
Joseph Martinez is a superb signing. It's crazy how people doubt about. Joseph Martinez is from the La Masia school. Yeah, इसलिए I think उन लोगों को ओनाना मोल्ड ऑफ गोलकीपर चाहिए था, so that's why they went for him, and obviously Bento was too expensive. Arun says backup right wing back gets injured, मैं center back sign करूंगा. I try to understand, but Lazio पे आना चाहता हूं मैं, अजय भाई को डालूंगा because I want अजय भाई to talk.
ये विंडो बहुत टाइम से मैं खोल के रखा हूं जो मुझे शेयर करना है.
हाँ खोलो.
ये देख, this is so amazing. अच्छा, इसमें खासियत ये है.
I know what you're talking about. Let them guess. Let everyone guess. People in the comments, what is Ajay bhai? You spell it out, but okay, not this one. पहले वो image हाँ वाला खोलो. I want DJ and Chintan bhai to guess what Ajay bhai is talking about or what he will talk about, and the comment section. Ajay bhai, floor is yours.
Guess करो what?
What's the odd factor out? What's the odd thing out in this image?
Zoom तो कर थोड़ा.
Zoom करो अजय भाई.
नहीं इतना ही मिलेगा. Zoom करेगा तो you will get a hint.
कुछ दिख ही नहीं रहा इधर यार.
एक करो तो अजय भाई. क्या हुआ? अच्छा okay.
It's just zooming in. It's not zooming in the image basically.
Yeah. Kuch anything you guys can spot as the odd thing out over here.
It's zooming in on these icons, but not the image.
I can't see anything. I think मैं इतना कुछ ज़्यादा focus कर रहा हूँ. तू ही बता दे अजय.
अजय भाई आप ही बता दो. चलो.
10 रुपए का pen. You remember? In school we have 4 colors: black, green.
Yeah, 4 colors.
Not the laptop.
Yeah, plastic pen 4. Middle class mentality जाता नहीं है. Anyways, you forgot Del Monte क्या बोला था? Italians and Indians are very similar, so.
Yeah. वो funny चीज वही है ना. It's ringing in my head because उस दिन अजय भाई Lotito said we are the only club in Italy who has right now spent 40 million in commissions and all. बहुत बड़ा चढ़ा के बोल रहा था चिंतन भाई. And then you see Baroni with that cheap ass pen. वो 10 रुपए का सब पैसा उधर ही उड़ा.
First of all, I don't think it's something to be proud of when you pay commission so much. First of all, I have a completely different thought on that. Only it's not something to be boasting about. And I'm very happy. I know I missed out on Xerxes, but I'm very happy Milan stood their ground.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We'll just come to a comment.
Just to throw some light on Lazio, last season we were talking about them playing in the Champions League under Maurizio Sarri, and fast forward 1 year later and they've got Baroni. I mean,
we will come to it. इसलिए मैं अजय भाई को पूछना चाहता हूँ. थोड़े comments ले दो last, and then we'll start breaking.
Please, can I put one comment up? One, which is going to be my personal favorite. Sure. Is this? A Maldini will be coached by Nesta. So surreal. It's very so amazing, man.
Please take a screenshot of this. This is Calcio heritage.
Yeah. This is Calcio.
But थोड़े comments लेके we'll take that last part वो graphic अजय भाई, if you can pull it up again, the last side of the coaching thing, and then we'll close with Copa America थोड़ा. We can't leave the CCB position solely dependent on an old Acerbi. Very fair point. वो तो surgery से आ रहा है. That's exactly why I want a new centre back. अरे यार प्लीज वो बस हो गया आइशो स्पीड का. Where is Lakaka going now? Lazio. हाँ नापोली पे मैं I'll ask one of them what they think of it, of course. Yeah, news is suggesting there will be a Sancho Chiesa swap. Yeah, don't believe Gazzetta dello Sport. Yeah, they come up with something new every day pretty much. But again, I know you are definitely उनमें थोड़ा interest है Sancho पे. Let's see where it goes. Yeah, had high expectations from Chiesa, but he didn't reach the level one thought he could post ACL. Yes, ACL has clearly ruined his career. Yeah, it's just sad because we know there is a player. There's more than a player in there. CDK stock will skyrocket this season. Nice point
It
by
already
DJ.
has.
Yeah, exactly.
Already.
Are Oak Tree rich? I mean, they're American. They're just a fund, like hedge fund. वो लोग इन्वेस्टमेंट करेंगे जितना करना है. They want to invest in the youth team and everything, but don't expect like big money being splashed in. That's just not the reality of Italian football. So वो सब expect मत कर तू. This is sorry, that pen still brings more value than Lotito. That's true. But Ajay bhai, let's wrap up this right side. Who wants to talk about Conte at Napoli? Basic तो बात कर चुके हैं.
It's a good comment, actually, like for high expectations from him. But
yeah, fair enough. But who wants to talk about Napoli?
Where is Yogesh? Where is Yogesh? He wants a t-shirt. Where is Yogesh?
It's
Guys, by
and it's
December we're going to be
Yogesh.
hearing that Ram song Last Christmas. I gave my heart to you. वो होगा.
Very next day.
These guys are
this has to
match
be
made in hell.
this has to be DJ because it's Napoli and it's Conte. So I would want to know. And DJ, I think it's Conte is a great manager, but you know how he is, and everyone knows how De Laurentiis is. So do you think this is a match made in heaven or hell?
Before you answer DJ bhai, just to point out, दो signing हो गए. I mean तीन. एक Rafa Marin, एक Buongiorno, obviously a big coup over there. But before you make your point, Spinazzola at this age, and I know I don't want to be too harsh because obviously Ajay bhai knows he's been through injuries. But this is a typical Conte signing where he thinks Spinazzola at this age with injuries can play as a wing back here.
Short
term.
I was just going to say that, Param, you know, Conte unfortunately has gotten so caught up in his own legend, finding success. But he's so templatized as a coach. It's the same players wherever he goes. Now he's pushing for Lukaku, and he'll whine when that doesn't happen. Then we'll hear talk of 10 euros is all they have. ADL is not going to hear that. This is, the minute things go south, the club hits a crisis. It's going to be great as long as they're winning and there's discipline. But the minute they hit a crisis, it's just going to implode because they're not going to be a relationship that can work together out of that crisis. Because Conte is a very individualistic, short-term manager. He cares really about the result, but in that result is where his ego lies, where I can't lose, And unfortunately, ADL is not going to be able to give him the kind of support that he's gotten in England and gotten used to, really. It's not going to happen. So the minute things turn south, it's going to be an implosion.
Yeah, fair point. And Chintan bhai, sorry,
absolute match made in hell.
But Chintan bhai, your 2 cents on this before we move to other clubs and before I ask Ajay bhai about Lazio. ये क्या है मतलब? Look, I don't think it's...
पहली बात तो Param, we discussed about his assistant manager coming there. I've learned a new style.
नहीं आपको ही करना है, पर Chintan bhai go ahead.
No, I feel that his whole thing about how his assistant was selling Conte to Milan and to Roma, सबको बेच रहा था. So and what DJ said, he's so templatized. He has his own set system. अच्छा हुआ, who's that Chelsea player he really likes? I forgot his name. Yeah, makes him play wing back. Victor Moses. वो होता तो उसको लेकर था. वो यार Ashley Young को लेके आता है. So templatized, and his assistant is coming and saying that we've learned a lot and we have changed. But I don't think anything changes. And I think I just read a comment that he's always left his club with ill feelings. He's just a mess, And Spinazzola is such a short-term signing, It's such like, I'm here. 1-2 सीजन मुझे दे देगा और मैं निकल जाऊंगा इधर से, वैसा है. So and with ADL, oh, it's going to be some firecrackers. I won't be surprised if ADL comes on the ground also. वो सब देखने को मिलेगा शायद, you know, like how Allegri removed his jacket, you know, वो Conte भी कर सकता है, दोनों उधर ही fight कर सकते हैं. Dude, imagine if Gattuso couldn't handle it. You know, like Gattuso and ADL was also, I was dreading that. That was also a scary match, you know. But you know, I don't think, man, Conte, for me, a lot of people were saying in like Milan fans also that okay, he might win you the league, you know, whatever it is. But what about your long term? You know, you need a coach now, especially with Serie A, जो हम लोग ने Del Monte के एपिसोड में डिस्कस किया. अभी यूथ को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा, and with coaches like Conte वो नहीं होने वाला है.
Fair enough.
But you can see that, na, Chintan, because Spinazzola is a short-term signing, because Conte himself is short-term. It's just about immediate results here and now. Set the system up, 1-2 seasons at best. If things go okay, that's it. He's not a guy who's going to be around at a club. Okay, unless it's Juventus and you know that relationship. Other than that, he's a 2 to 3 season coach at best.
But let's move to
मैंने एक ट्वीट बुकमार्क करके रखा हुआ है हेनरी बेल का. हेनरी बेल is a Napoli fan, obviously. With the Quara notice today heavily pointing towards renewal, Conte getting appointed early, coherent signings and even decent shirts, has the madness left Naples? एक ही बंदे ने बुकमार्क किया, वो मैं हूँ. I'll come back in December, as DJ said. दिसंबर में आके मैं इसका जवाब दूंगा.
Yeah. Rajat says he's going to use Spinazzola like Ashley Young. But एक चीज है यार, देख करेगा, but there's Ashley Young was still very fit at that point. उसका fitness जो Spinazzola की हालत है वैसा नहीं था.
If Spinazzola was fit, Roma renew him. Simple.
Yeah. वही simple, वही exactly. And मुझे just to your point, Rajat, when Ashley Young went to Aston Villa after Inter, उसको Aston Villa में उसकी fitness देख के लोग shock हो गए थे because he was so fit. I remember reading that report. They were super shocked that he was probably.
Param is a great player. I think whatever he's a winger, wing back, him and Jesus Navas.
I loved him. मजा आया. बहुत मजा आया.
Good. I have massive respect for Ashley Young.
Yeah. But let's move on. Yeah. I want to. जैसे स्वर्णिम भाई ने बोला, अजय भाई and Lazio match made in heaven. Lazio, अजय भाई. Try to be objective. I want to bring this to you because I want to see how you generally would analyze Lazio.
रुक popcorn लाता हूँ.
But Ajay, बहुत मतलब it feels a bit weird to go from Sarri and everyone and even in links to Marco Baroni. Sure, he did a good job with Hellas Verona. मतलब चिंतन भाई, you know, उसने survival कैसे वो कचरा Hellas Verona team के साथ, you know, their owner getting arrested and everything. He did a good job, but just because of that, Lazio have hired him to now, you know, up his standards suddenly, and then they've made signings, half of them obviously from Hellas. Ajay bhai, मतलब ये अपना Tijani Noslin, वो striker who was suddenly came up because half their players had to be sold in January. Then they've signed again low profile players, like, you know, more of prospects like Loum Chauna, Dele Bashiru. Like क्या लगता है आपको, like what is going on here? Do they think they are like? Do you think the perception in Lazio is that they are being smart, but not really in actuality? Moneyball approach of sorts?
No. See, I think Ciro Immobile is going to leave as well.
Yeah.
Luis Alberto has left, if I'm not mistaken, already. So
Yeah.
Ciro Immobile is the next big name who's going from there. Obviously, I think their downfall started pretty much after selling Sergei Milinkovic-Savic. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I'm expecting them to be mid-table, to be very honest. I probably like a Napoli season like they had this year, 10th, 11th, 12th. And because you look at the, you know, competitiveness amongst the top 7, top 8, मेरे को तो अभी ये current Lazio से दिख नहीं रहा है, and the way that and Baroni is, you know, is not, I would say, a top of the cream kind of manager. He's just very average. I'd be surprised if he gets them into like the top 6, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, मेरे हिसाब से तो this is just the start. I feel like Immobile is going to leave.
He is.
There's still a lot of drama that's going to happen. And with Lotito being Lotito, you can, I mean, it's, you wake up and there could be something that you never dreamt of happening in that club. So, as a Roma fan, I'm happy. These are the days that live.
from Tudor to Moroni is a bad move. Yeah, Tudor did very well, I think, to stable the ship. Yeah,
but the funny वही पूरा ड्रामा था ना चिंतन भाई. Tudor wanted to sell around 8 to 9 players to stay, that including Matteo Guendouzi, because he doesn't like Guendouzi. Tudor का हर जगह जाते हो झगड़ा होते रहता है. So I think that's typical Lazio. I think that's just typical Lazio. Now I agree with Ajay bhai, थोड़ा low profile लग रहा है, but I guess we can only see where it goes because you never know. Baroni might improve as well. But let's wrap up this right side here. Chintan bhai, anyone, like obviously as you can see, Pecchia stays as Parma's coach. Obviously Vanoli, Chintan bhai, you wanted to talk about it, so I'll give you the floor. बहुत interesting coach Venezia. Sorry बोलो.
I'm just surprised at this Venezia. I'm very surprised. And going to first of all, Di Francesco, UCBU, I'm same, not a big fan at all. And it was very heartbreaking to see him cry on the last day. But come on, yaar, you were at a comfortable position. People don't see that. People are saying, "Arey, it's heartbreaking to see him lose like that." Arey, bhai, kidhar the? From where he was to get them relegated, it's unbelievable. And I think Venezia could have done well with Vanoli. मेरे को actually, to be honest, इतना पता नहीं क्या हुआ, why was he sacked, but I think it would have been he should have stayed. I'm very surprised that
so Chintan bhai, he was not sacked, but उसका मतलब almost 2.5 years हो गए, so he thought अलग challenge. But I fully agree with you कि Venezia की squad actually is way better than the first time, and it's just surprising. And he takes a lot of inspiration from Simone.
Yeah, he just got them promoted. My feeling was that he just got them promoted. It's a good ship to steady them right now. You've come back. So I was very surprised, and मैंने किधर actually पढ़ा था that the club also didn't force him to stay back, so kind of mutual tha. I was very surprised, and then to go and chase Eusebio was. I'm very shocked.
Yeah, it's just shocking how Eusebio Di Francesco falls upwards. It's just I don't understand how good connect.
How does he keep getting clubs? I'm still surprised. Like he still keeps getting them, and another relegation. I don't want to see Venezia get relegated. Their jersey game is top, so I don't want them to get relegated. And what a great place also. So, but I'm very that's when I saw this, and I was like, it's unbelievable how Vanoli is there. I think Vanoli still for Torino. I feel it's a great signing.
I think we can take that.
And Torino were decent this season. They were very impressive last season. So I'm very happy with that. But UCBO के बारे में जितना कम बोलना उतना अच्छा. I think Ajay ज़्यादा बोल पाएगा.
I'm very biased towards him. बेचारे के ऊपर नहीं लगा हुआ है. I just hope that he finds his feet and bounces back. It could be at any club, but I just hope that for that joy that he gave us during that Champions League run, I just hope that he bounces back here.
Yeah, but I think we can wrap up the coaching. Obviously, Runic is the coach of Udinese, and one funny story, not funny actually, no, wrong word to use. Luca Gotti confirmed as Lecce's manager, and there was a story behind it. Actually, उसको confirm नहीं करने वाले थे, but Lecce का जो sporting director है ना, Corvino, he was they were in a hotel and he was sleeping in a hotel or somewhere in some room. His room caught fire or whatever, that building caught fire, and Gotti saved him from. Obviously, pretty much saved his life, and उसके वजह से उसको confirm कर दिया उसके job में.
Funny story. Only in Serie A.
Time and place.
Only in Serie A. But DJ, before we close this, I just want to ask you one final thing. Atalanta, obviously Gasperini stays, but a lot of interesting moves. Already CDK got confirmed. They've signed Ben Godfrey. Zaniolo signed, and seems like now they're going to sign a very talented midfielder in the form of Matthew O'Reilly. Do you think this can be Atalanta's year finally after winning the Europa League to make early predictions wise to make like a Scudetto push finally? Do you think it's possible?
Quite the opposite, Param. I feel this was the year Gasperini had to move. This is as far as he can take the project and the club. What I suspect, just early sensations is that he's hit his fatigue level. I think, of course, because he's such a system coach, losing Koopmeiners, I don't know what impact Koopmeiners will make at Juve, but losing him at Atlanta will be a shift. Zaniolo is a great signing, on paper, but again, his injury problems don't make him like a reliable, he's not going to be carrying the club over the course of the season. For me, I feel like this will be the season that Gasperini kind of runs out of gas, a lot of fatigue. I don't think it's a title push. I think, in fact, it'll be a very average season for them.
Fair enough. So, Serie A discussion wrap up कर ले तो Copa America के साथ close करते हैं जय भाई. एक तो
Yeah,
obviously
I
we had
just want to share one
sure
image
sure.
which is like absolutely will take you
I
guys
also
for
have something hilarious to share, but could be what you're sharing. Uh,
how awesome is this?
oh yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Amori, what a
Finally,
jersey
a
this
good
is.
yeah, yeah. More than the jersey, it's the obviously it's the
The
for the
aura.
chat for the chat. If you can by any chance recognize, चलो एक player भी I know थोड़ा older होते तो it's difficult to recognize and with the shades as well. If you can recognize at least one, दो भी चलेगा चलो
वो
anyone.
मिडिल मतलब आई थिंक इजी है वैसे तो
easy है but you know because of the you know थोड़ा एजिंग की वजह से शायद ना पहचान नाम तो है obviously why am I asking I didn't even see that
yeah I
अजय
was just
भाई ने
going to
पूरा खोल के
अरे
रखा मैं
left is Pastore.
say
yeah
Uh,
yeah
look at Amori.
who were the
Yeah,
other
no,
two?
no,
Yeah?
Amori,
Luka-
Amori,
On
He's
the
my
right
Amori
is
can
yeah. Tony is very like clear. It's Luca Tony. You can tell, yeah, his
Yeah.
hair and everything. It's still the same. Who's
But
the guy in
Amori,
the
I
center?
remember.
Oh
Amori,
my
Amori.
God! This is oh my God! What are you saying?
that's what
he's
that's
beefed
what
up.
That's
yeah, beefed
crazy.
up.
That's
And-
Look at
crazy.
his, I still remember him signing for Juventus with that beard
You
and.
will-
God, Jinx, I can't tell you, man. Like what a it was shambolic, yeah. What a signing, horrible. Yeah.
Nothing beats Matri. We bought Matri as Inzaghi replacement for 12 million when we had 10 million in our pockets. We gave everything and we signed him. Terrible signing. Two signings I'll not forget Roma and Juventus for. Roma तो लाइफ में नहीं भूलूंगा वो बर्टोलाची को 17 मिलियन में बेचा है हम लोग को क्या बनाया है तुम लोग ने ना
25 million euro.
हाँ हाँ
But
अरे
actually, Matri was a loss for Juve in a sense. He really did his job. He had one job to do at the club, and he did it. You know, so
listen, but
there's
that is when he had that is when he had multiple players around him who were good enough. Not in a team
Yeah,
where which is
that's true.
our main player was Poli man. So he just looked like Kaka, didn't play like Kaka at all.
Yeah, I know
Yeah,
what you mean.
Chintan, I've got a very interesting idea that we can do later, which is a
हाँ.
food and calcio stream. तूने
हाँ.
पोली बोला, मटरी बोला, Timone Perota. We should do that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
should,
yeah,
man.
definitely. Let's shift focus to Copa America. एक तो obviously बहुत कुछ हुआ. We'll just touch upon it briefly. But Ajay bhai, this has to be one of the most hilarious things. Argentina FA Cup president Chiqui Tapia, he has his own personal leg sweat wiper. Like what the hell is this, yaar? ये clip
भाई, this is AIFF level. ये proper Indian football level है.
Boss, this is BCCI levels. Hey, do you expect Jai Shah to do all these things?
My God, like how? Oh my God, I have no words. But Ajay bhai, that कल का game थोड़ा discuss
What a
करते हैं.
game! What a game!
Yeah, madness. And I think there was only one obviously sad aspect about it is कि how poorly the tournament is organized. वो दिख गया था कल कि there's no segregation of fans. You have the players' families sitting right in between the Colombia fans, and if people still didn't realize what happened, yeah, anyone wants to sum it up कि exactly क्या हुआ था उसमें. Ajay bhai, if you want to.
No, I mean, basically, from what I could read and what I saw is that Darwin Nunez's family was attacked, and hence Nunez came out to protect his family. And as you rightly said, यार कुछ भी mismanagement of a different level. You have all the fans mixing up. You have the dugout so close. It's just.
And actually,
you know,
I saw the game live because I was traveling and I had time, so I saw the game live. And before that happened, what people don't know, जो मैंने online stream में देखा था, he was literally in tears before it happened because he didn't know how to get to his family. It was heartbreaking.
Correct.
Ajay, I'm telling you, it was one of the most heartbreaking scenes I've seen in recent times.
Yeah.
It is sometimes this is above football. This is nothing to do with football. It's just symbolic.
Yeah.
This is shameful from fans' perspective, and you have won. Ajay, they had not even lost. They are in the finals. So it is. The reaction was it is disrespect. If something like this, I would be ashamed. Because this is beyond football. Because their family and if you can, Param, if you can find it, there's a video of him hugging his son. You see his eyes.
I have it.
Oh my God, that gave me goosebumps literally.
I have it. It is sad. It is quite
sad. So sad to see him like this because you know that, boss.
His son was
and,
shook.
he's hugging his son. Very, very depressing. This is totally. You don't realize how good the game was actually. Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
Come on. If no one has seen this, please see this and just see his eyes. The fear in his eyes, the relief in his eyes as his son with him. I just hope not just football players. I just hope any artists or any sportsman. I hope they don't have to see this. Yeah.
yeah. DJ, by any thoughts? Did you catch this game by any chance? Or any thoughts on the
I
Copa
caught
America?
I caught the incident. I didn't see the
Yeah.
game. I caught the incident.
Fair enough.
Like Chintan said, yeah, very unfortunate. And I think there has to be some regulation towards this, right?
Yeah.
It is at the end of the day not a. I mean, we make or position it as a regional tournament, but it is a global tournament like the Euro. So you do expect, higher levels of security, higher levels of regulation. It's just, but this is also what makes South American football South American football.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it is that madness. It is what makes people go crazy for Boca and River Plate, and
Yeah.
and I think some of it is the semblance of what we've seen growing up. But I think how corporatized football is today, this should
Yeah.
not be happening in the modern day. Families being involved is just
And
completely off limits.
security,
Sorry.
nothing. I mean, ridiculous security arrangements
Yeah.
by the.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
But
if you overall go to see that, of course, what you said, each the tournament, it is actually, if you go to see, very bad timing. But whenever I've caught the highlights, you see the intensity of the games, the foul. It's so South American about it. But yeah, the current circumstances, I feel at least players, families should be really kept far away, because knowing how the atmosphere is, knowing how instinctively
Yeah.
you react as fans, and especially with females and kids, you never know in that split of a second what happens. But yeah, it's been actually a very
destroy you. It can destroy your career as a player. If anything happens to your family, already we know what's happened with Colombia with the Escobar case.
Yeah,
If
and
you
even
guys
yeah, of course,
uh,
exactly.
very hard to forget. And actually, I was so young also at that point to see. I'm sure Param wasn't born, but
Yeah,
at that
Bharat wasn't one.
see what it stayed with me. It stays with you till date that a guy was just doing his job, and such an innocent
Own goal,
life
yeah.
for nothing. Like it's very
And by the
sad,
way,
and I think from then to today you would expect those changes to have been made.
there are chances that Nunez will be charged for this. It's
yeah,
just so
that's the
shocking
weird
that
part.
he will be charged for this. And of course, everyone knows Luis's parents were kidnapped in Colombia. Mein.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
happens over there to another level. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Arun, what happened was कि basically अरे वो celebrations और देख तो security खराब थी, ticketing sorry seating was not right, so Uruguay के जो players थे उनकी families were seated right in between a wave of Colombian fans, like there's just too many. And if you see, Colombian fans have, I think, have had the highest number of attendance so far in the Copa America.
Yeah.
उसी के बीच में छोटी सी like a bunch of Uruguayan families, and pretty much their families got harassed, and his kid was shook. You saw in the clip right now. So Darwin Nunez got irritated. He confronted them, और पूरा झगड़ा हो गया basically. Just type the game on Twitter, you'll
He
understand what
actually wanted to call them down because he wanted
Yeah.
to get the
Yeah.
players down. The players wanted to get their family down, and they were started surrounding and dancing. And of course, क्या teasing हुआ रहेगा, कुछ रहेगा, and that's why they were not letting the players come down. That is when Nunez lost his shit, and then he's like, "Why not letting them come down?" And that's where the fight broke out. And you see, there's a clear video where he gets punched on his face. Nunez gets
Yeah, yeah.
punched on his face. So
Yeah.
terrible,
Yeah, yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Just sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's not
But-
take anything away from a game which was
That's what I
unbelievable.
wanted to
Number
come
of
to the game.
chances.
I
My
want
God.
to come to you, Chintan bhai, and then Ajay bhai, and then we'll take close with predict like if DJ bhai also has any thoughts. Like Chintan bhai, like this Uruguay यार, because बहुत थोड़े और मतलब obviously the expectation was कि they could win it. मतलब with Bielsa doing such a fantastic job. What do you think यार? Like मतलब there's more to come from them, or क्या लग रहा है आपको?
Yeah, first of all, and by the way, just to tell you, I thought if not winning, that they would be finalists for sure. Because after
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
where they were, I was pretty much sure Uruguay are doing well. Because, anyways, they're a dirty team. You can call it in that terms. Plus, with Bielsa's football makes it different, and the number of chances, even the last Luis Suarez chance, how are they not scoring? It was Valverde ka bhi, it was just brain racking. I was seeing I
Yeah.
saw the last 20 minutes. And I was like, of course, Colombia also missed open goals. They missed an open
Yeah.
goal also. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
just what a high-paced game. After the red card, I thought, because I was following it online, I thought things will turn around. But it's just one of those days, where nothing goes your way. It
True.
was a great goal, by the way. It was a good corner. It was a good goal. I think Colombia missed an easy header just a minute before that
Yes.
also.
Yes.
So it was a pretty decent game. But after the red card, you expect Uruguay. But I think what happened last 10 minutes, what I could see is they're losing it. Uruguayan players were rushing into challenges. They were rash, of course. Plus, they completely opened behind. Luckily, the scoreline didn't suggest Colombia should have scored at least one or two goals in the end. And Nunez, oh my God, like,
Yeah, he missed.
however sad thing happened, but oh my God, you cannot. And if any Liverpool fans would totally understand, he'll score probably the most difficult goals, but oh my God, the number of misses across.
Yeah.
I think it was just hard luck on Uruguay. I felt it was more like last Euros, Spain doing what Spain to Italy. Spain were knocking on Italy's door and Italy went through. It was something like that. Great game. I think if you compare both the games, I've seen only 20-30 minutes of the Uruguay game, but probably the most entertaining game Uruguay, like Copa or Euros में देखा था. I think that was the most entertaining game I've seen.
And Ajay, any thoughts finally on this Colombian team? Because I think thoda इनको write off किया जा रहा था. We have to remember they're still unbeaten for over 2 years.
I don't think so. Anyone wrote them off. I think परम अपन ने काफी बात किया.
Yeah.
They're unbeaten run now. I think it's 25 odd games, 26 games, 2 years. It's been remarkable. We spoke about Colombia in detail, how good and how everyone's underestimating them. Upon a prediction big yeah, and I knew that Bielsa eventually falls short, and that's exactly what happened. The kind of chances that they missed, criminal. And I knew that Colombia, given the form that they're in, they're not going to lose this game. मेरे को लगा ही था कि अर्जेंटीना कोलंबिया फाइनल होने वाला है, and how much ever non-Argentina fans are going to root for Colombia. It's going to be. I hope it's going to be a good final though, because as Chintan said, that amongst all the games, Colombia Uruguay was the most entertaining, hands down. Like literally, as a football purist, as a football fan, मजा आया देखने के. That's typically been Copa America. Like I would say, if you have to sum up both the tournaments, Copa has had much better games than the Euros. Like
More flair.
I've slept off in so many Euros games, man.
Oh, dude, it's all English games almost.
Yeah, DJ, by any thoughts you have on any team in the Copa America so far? Like anything on Uruguay, Colombia, Argentina, anything you want to share?
I kind of agree with Chintan. Yeah, for me, Uruguay are a little bit of an unknown quantity, and they're always a very unpredictable team. There is a little bit of talent that kind of goes under the radar with that team. Colombia, for me, I think they've got that. They've got that little X factor for the final. There's just there's a bounce about them. From the little bit I've seen, very little of the Copa actually in the highlights. There's a bounce about them, and I feel like when I think they won one Copa, and I think this was at the turn of 2001. Yeah, I feel like it's time. I think Argentina riding on the World Cup, but I feel like Colombia's got it in them to kind of put this over the line.
Fair enough. So just last comments, predictions, we'll close this here. Unpopular opinion says Arun, James Rodriguez and Ochoa do not exist on Earth. The only powerful international.
I won't do.
This is so true,
man.
No,
I agree. I totally agree.
Ochoa was killing it for Salernitana last year, man. Come on.
Yeah. But it's funny, like Chintan bhai, जैसे आप बोल रहे थे, James Rodriguez, he'll probably be the best player in the world if it's only international football. This guy.
I would like to add Shaqiri also to that. Of course, Shaqiri is now old, but Shaqiri turning up.
We were talking about it, Chin. Shaqiri for sure. Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. How they turn up.
Yeah, it's just something. Nunez missed 3 clear chances. What a bozo. But देखो यार, I mean, Chintan bhai वही बोले कि while he can score on such amazing goals, it's just something कि there's a one match where he misses so many chances. So yeah, I think why is Copa not after every 4 years? Yeah, they always want to change the schedule. तो उसके वजह से यार, it's not well organized, especially when this obviously. But let's take the predictions. Yeah, DJ bhai, आपसे start करता हूँ. Who's winning? Is Colombia take? You pretty much said it, but are you fully convinced that Colombia lifts it first time after 2001? That Argentina breaks the deadlock and clears off Uruguay and wins their 16th Copa America?
I think Colombia 1-0.
Wow. I would love to see that, to be fair. Chintan bhai, over to you. क्या लगता है?
Man, I think it's going to be tougher than the Euro finals. दोनों का prediction दे दो, Euro का भी.
दे दो यूरो का तो
हाँ,
हाँ,
Euro का भी
यूरो
दे
का
दिया.
वही
Euro
दे
का भी
दिया
दे
था ना.
दिया.
I completely forgot.
Yeah, I forgot. So I know I think Messi might just sneak this one. I think he'll take it. I think what I like about Argentina, at least after this World Cup, is now they know they've set defined roles. I think during the last World Cup,
Yeah.
during the tournament, they were setting up roles. They were making so many changes. So I think might be too structured.
Yeah.
Argentina might be too well structured for Colombia. But I
Yeah.
won't be surprised if it's a low scoring, it goes on till late. But it's Messi versus James, so whoever shines that time. I think Enzo has been brilliant this tournament. So I have my money on Argentina clinching it, and I to feel it's going to be that year for cringe football fans. It's going to be Messi winning it and England winning it. So
Oh my God. Nice call. Ajay bhai, over to you. क्या लगता है?
Penalties, Argentina to win it.
Wow. Anything to happen in this game from your perspective? मतलब कुछ.
Messi cements his, legendary status. That's about it.
Yeah,
परम तेरे
I
को क्या
think
लग रहा है?
मुझे only for Lautaro and all, I wouldn't mind Argentina win it, but I want Colombia to win. I hope at least they, because DJ by के point, I think this has to be their time. I mean, you go 2 years unbeaten, yeah, Chintan by over 2 years, not just 2 years.
Over 2 years.
After missing out on a World Cup, that's just something. You've missed out on a World Cup 2 years and over 2 years unbeaten. You have to win it for me, and I want this to be James Rodriguez's crowning moment. I feel he deserves it. मतलब जो भी हो, doesn't play well at club football. He's disappeared. Obviously, plays in Brazil, but he needs something. I feel to celebrate. So to DJ Bhai's point, I hope they can lift it. But मुझे लग रहा है
Asha,
Argentina जीतेगी.
just an off topic. Which Serie A club right now do you think would be most suited to sign James Rodriguez? Where he'll perform very well. Like win for both.
Roma.
Comments में भी
Roma,
बता
yeah,
दो.
with Dybala, I
Roma,
mean, that'll
Roma.
be very interesting.
Comments में बताओ. The Roma is a good shout here, guys. Actually, a good shout.
I feel Roma. What I feel about Roma is it's such a loving club. There won't be any pressure over there on him.
Yes,
And
that Dybala presentation was like, I mean, I haven't
Goosebumps.
seen anything like that in my. I mean,
Yeah.
that was just, that's really, you go from a lion president. If you all remember Inler's presentation at Napoli,
Yeah.
you go from that and you see Dybala being presented. I mean, really, that is the whole gamut, with regard to Italy.
I feel
Yeah,
Roma for one reason why Roma is because he'll get a free role. DDR might just tell him play wherever you want to play.
Yeah,
Win us a
yeah.
game for us. So I think
Bro.
when he play in that free role, he'll be amazing.
अरुण से Torino with Vanoli as the coach. अभी वो कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग होगा for sure. स्वर्णिम भाई says Napoli. भाई कॉन्टे के साथ James Rodriguez, he might just not be
Box to box खेलेगा. Box to box number 6 खेलेगा.
Wing back.
Wing back.
Rajat says AC Milan. Look, they
I
do
think
use it.
but I feel all these teams अपना जो team है DJ का like Juventus, Milan, Roma, I think बहुत system oriented रहने वाला है. DDR like De Rossi is the only manager I feel who might be that flexible, that give him that freedom. So I feel he's going to be that, and plus I think James might not suit Motta's profile. Motta also believes in giving how he gave Xerxes the free role. So I feel Roma would be amazing, and plus I think James after winning Copa coming to Rome with that presentation again, oh my god.
James at Venezia with Di Francesco, साला Di Francesco इसको भी relegate करवा देगा चिंतन भाई, लिख के ले लो. But
guys, before we go off, I feel what you guys thought about Bielsa's comments, like it was very hard hitting. Like I think, I'm so agree with his sentiment because I feel you will not get to see a Ronaldinho anymore. You won't see a flair player anymore, I guess, because you need those system players, those muscular players, jo bhago. Flair to nahi. Athletes, yes, exactly. So I think Bielsa is right. Corporate-wise, football is doing well, but you won't find flair. What actually can win you games? Just DJ, we were talking how Del Monte was so passionate about when he was talking about Baggio, and we talk about my all-time favorite player, the R9. So where will we see these players, man? So just a dream, and I just 1-1. I just want to know what all of you guys felt. what Bielsa
I
said,
do
does it
agree.
true?
I do agree with that sentiment, Chintan. Obviously, especially that was a time when I was young. Luckily, मतलब 2003 में जो भी देखना चालू किया था तब समझता था. From there on also, obviously, I didn't see the prime Ronaldo and everything. वो तो सिर्फ highlights में और old matches में देखने मिला. But I get it. I get where he's coming from. I don't want to be dismissive of his opinion. But as Rajat said in the comments, it's I feel it's not declining. It's just different because जैसे आपने बोला, it's become more corporate. There is a need. There is a different need. That's why everything is conditioned differently. हम बोलते like there's a it's just a shift here because you want there's people always say when will a certain club be successful, right? And for that club to be successful, how are they going to randomly produce such players? They need to adhere to a certain system and they have to follow a certain model to be successful. And I know it's not the most aesthetic thing to watch. I get it. I fully agree with Bielsa on that. It just comes down to a personal preference, and that's why I feel I'm very 50-50 on it. I don't fully agree with him. I get him. I don't want to be dismissive of his sentiment. I love Bielsa. He's one of my favorite coaches, but I don't know if I can fully agree with him.
DJ?
Can you
I
just
think-
tell me exactly what the comment was? I'm sorry, I'll
I'll
He
pull it up.
basically said that, yeah, he'll just pull it up, but he basically, in a nutshell, he said that how football is being played nowadays, the flair is completely out of the picture. Like, you won't find a creative player anymore who can run. It's more system. Basically, he was trying to say it's more robotic. How
We've
things have been
spoken about this, yeah, Chief. I mean, see, we have to also accept that the game has changed. Also, physicality in the game has changed. Yeah, what happens in clubs, the way we condition players, that has changed. So there's a natural state, right? Like look at sport across the board. Across the board, sport has now a very different physicality to it. The time of the artists and the vision is all gone. Even tennis today is only hard hitters.
brute force. Yeah,
You're not going
brute
to
force.
find another Roger
Yeah.
Federer. You look at let's say name another sport. Yeah, I mean, like, you look at also, if we are to stay with football, if you look at the most successful teams today, they are the teams that play system football. They are not teams that rely on individuals.
That's
That is
what-
and I think that's where the game is. I mean, look at Juve today. I mean, all of us are so excited about Kefren Thuram. We're not actually excited about Kefren Thuram for his talent. We're just excited about how he's going to fit into that vision that Costa brings.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's the same way Douglas Luiz.
DJ, I totally agree with you, but I'm just saying, Ajay, मैं क्या बोल रहा था, like a Dybala, a player like him, a player like, and I think the best example I can give right now is one of my favorite player. I'm not even going to give Ronaldinho. Ajay, मैं बात कर रहा हूँ Riquelme की. Oh my God! I think if you go to see gift-wise, I think he's probably the most gifted player I've seen. And if you ask Argentinian players, there was a video where I saw so many players at all-time favorite Argentinian players, so many named Riquelme, other than Messi and.
He's the player that just didn't happen, like everybody just knew it, everybody just saw it. It's
What
just
a
so
player.
unfortunate. He had such a different trajectory, then feeling homesick and coming back. It would have been a very different career,
In
for
fact,
Riquelme.
if I had to pull out an example which is more Calcio related, just imagine Fabio Quagliarella in today's era.
Yeah.
Coaching he will never take those long range shots. Like, we've seen so many of his bangers which are from the halfway line. In today's robotic systems and whatever it is, he'll never be allowed the freedom to take the shot or hit a back, whatever. I mean, just players not expressing themselves.
Yeah,
But you know
And
what I feel? I
Chintan
feel
bhai,
like
just
one.
Chintan bhai, one thing you brought up, Riquelme. That was a very good example, I feel, because I remember that game with Villarreal and Inter. क्या उड़ाया उसने हम लोग को. He dominated the midfield. Varun is there in the chat. I don't know if you remember watching that game, यार. अब जो बोल रहे हो चिंतन भाई, it's the most spot on example you can think of in that pre-2010 era as well. Just wanted to add that.
One more thing. Very sorry to interrupt, Chintan. Just so before I forget, and a big reason why the game has changed is not just the bodies; it's data analytics that is going on behind the scenes. It's the Internet of Things. There's a chip everywhere now. So when you have that at your disposal, that is not going to let you play freely. It's not going to let you be a Pirlo or a Zidane or a Del Piero. It's not going to happen. It's going to be you running linear in a straight line, covering the position that you're meant to
I
cover.
totally get it. I totally get what you're saying. What I feel, what
I'm
Bielsa's
not
trying to say is,
I'm not in favor of it. I'm just saying that that's where the world is today,
yeah, I
and
know.
it is unfortunate. It's very
Yeah,
unfortunate.
and Ajay, मेरा एक ही point था Ajay. Like what I'm saying is, today's generation में, if you have a system for 10 players, take for example, or 9 outfield players, but if you still give that Ronaldinho or a Riquelme or a player like Pirlo a ball on his feet, sometimes I feel natural talent and skill, Ajay, don't you think that might just be enough? Because it's eventually still a game. Eventually, it's still a dribble or something which you do. Like, sabko pata hai that my one of my favorite moments, because I was a kid back then, to see, Param maine bataya hai about Ronaldo R9's goal against Lazio when he step over towards the so simple, Ajay, so effective. Don't you think, Ajay? But एक player ऐसा होगा can change the game and can beat a system also.
I hope so, because in football it's all about cycles, and hopefully we are at the end of this cycle of systems, and एक थोड़ा flair, एक creativity आना ही चाहिए वापस game में. And I really feel that I mean just look at Jamal Musiala or Lamine Yamal. I feel that they're probably signaling to the future that okay, we are modern day athletes. Of course, our coaches have the systems. Our the assistant coaches have data with them, but we also get that freedom to express ourselves. Street football हो या जो आप बोलते हो घर पे जो आप खेलते हो, that kind of like that playground वाला feel. I feel that they can carry the torch and bring that era back after what has been, like someone mentioned, cyborg football, robotic football. I think मजा आएगा if that flair comes
By the way,
back.
that is why if you go to see,
funnily enough, guys, but the flair players are then going to come from the poorer countries where you're not reliant on data analytics.
Yeah. Look at Kvaratskhelia.
It's going to be the emerging nations. We're going to also look at...
No, continue, then I'll make my point. Please continue.
No, go for it. So it's going to go, that cycle is going to begin again in the likes of Brazil, the South American flair, where you can't, when those kids are walking 12 like Rivaldo's story, every day he'd walk 12 kilometers to play football. That story is only going to happen at that level. But as long as you have the money spinners in England and you have the leagues in Germany with all the money, and Spain, even though they're in debt, having that money still at their disposal, they're going to be data led. They're going to be system led. So okay, Italy maybe, maybe the vision will be there. But I think predominantly it's going to be emerging nations, and it's going to be traditionally the likes of Brazil and Argentina, maybe bringing up the flair. But you need real heart, generation talent that will break this systematic flow.
Yeah. So to your point, is because Rajat also said this here, as because you and Ajay bhai said this, ki this era at some point will also come to an end. It's more than likely, it's not going to be forever. एक चीज add करना चाहता, because you said this about countries where it's not heavily used, the poorer countries. Coming back to Italy, Marotta keeps saying this actually whenever he's interviewed, कि उसका eventual goal है कि whatever position he gets into for sports, and from this point also he wants to make youth sports free for the youth, because uska strong belief hai ki the talent comes from the poorer class in Italy. From what he studied, he feels
everywhere.
Exactly. Everywhere. And because they can't, as you said, because they can't afford it, they get left behind, and that's what his belief. He wants to make sports free for the youth in Italy. So to your point again,
and by the way, listen, and that is the reason why whenever you ask any panelist what we all love watching, which team or which national team which we all loved watching once upon a time was Brazil, because that's the team which got the flair. They still believe in ke ek flair wala player aayega, no position, we can still win the game. Luka Bonito, and that smile on their faces, it's amazing what they bring in. They've not won in a very long time, nothing. But I think probably last flair wala player bol sakte Neymar. You can call Neymar probably the last of that generation, I guess. But that they are the only country and probably the only players. However, you've heard Gabriel Jesus' Kabi stories. The stories are very touching. But Ajay, they enjoy football. They play it from their heart. I have the ball on my feet. I'm going to enjoy it.
Unpopular opinion, Brazilians need to stop going to the Premier League and come to Serie A.
Cafu.
Guys, we are in the Serie A. Just think about it. It's one Arab consortium coming in and buying an Italian club because culturally, if you look at it, the weather's great in Italy, the life is great in Italy. It's just a matter of being able to pay an Aguero level salary, and that will change. Just imagine Arab money coming in and signing and buying out Capri as a club, for example.
Yeah.
The entire world will want to sit and live there, yeah, and play there. Why will they not?
Capri are better than Man City for sure.
No, I'm just saying,
Better,
like, and especially,
Chintan,
sadly, South Americans don't like English weather. They don't.
Yes, sir.
Culturally, they would prefer Italian weather. It's just a matter of money, you know.
Yeah.
Param, तू बोला कफू यही तो बोला था. That's what Kafu
हाँ,
said,
वही.
right? And look at
Exactly.
Pato's. He
It's
gave
like
Pato's example.
you use the word enjoy. I just remembered before that elimination in the World Cup, Brazil ke group games and even that game against South Korea, even if there was a gulf in quality, you remember all those matches, they were literally still enjoying themselves, that Brazilian team with TJ.
Exactly.
They were playing
And by
such
the-
great. Yeah, that's
And by
that
the way,
pigeon celebration. Yeah,
exactly. And you know what? I think I feel bad because Ronaldinho got so much slack from Brazilian players himself. All he
Yeah.
just said is that they're not playing the game how it's supposed to be played. And Richarlison, dude, who are you dissing? Who is Richarlison to diss?
Who is
Ronaldinho.
Richarlison?
It's so funny and it was very depressing because I understood what Ronaldinho wants to say, that if Brazilians play the game how it's supposed to be played, then they'll pretty much do well in any tournament. Yeah.
And few interesting questions. Anand says not questions, statements as well. Italian football needs more youth centers in South from the. हाँ, वो South North का जो gap है, वो एक तो अगर पहले उस पे थोड़ा focus किया जाए, because
look at
South.
Antonio Cassano from Bari, man. I mean, that's just pure talent from the streets.
Oh, that guy might be the biggest jerk, but talent तो है.
What a player! What a player!
बहुत बड़ा. Yeah, exactly. The problem is kids in Brazil don't get to play in Brazil till they get footballing mature. They get signed at 17, 18 by old. Abroad. PL wala point pretty much. Yeah. Swarnim says, in my opinion, this is because things are too easy. They are too easily available. That's true. It's a good point. So I think थोड़े और comments end में ले लेंगे. अजय भाई, I just wanted to pull up this, first match day of Serie A, just show it, and then wanted to close the stream with a few comments, because I'm not sure if everyone has seen, Serie A में क्या match day first है ये. वो just give me a second.
By the way, Mukesh Ambani is saying, "What about me? Why only Arabs?" So Mukesh bhai,
आजा भाई.
I'm a Gucci. Milan ले लो. Milan ने buy करी काढो.
अरे भाई, तुम पहले सेरिया ब्रॉडकास्ट सॉर्ट आउट करो, उसके बाद जो क्लब लेना है करो भाई.
Yo cinema में दिखा के Mukesh.
And if still anyone doesn't know कि अभी तक now वो जियो की साइकिल खत्म हो गई है, ब्रॉडकास्ट का कुछ न्यूज नहीं है, तो प्लीज प्रे करो कि मिल जाए ब्रॉडकास्ट यार. और क्या बोल सकते हैं हम लोग. So Ajay, I've just pulled up the schedule.
Of course, it's going to get picked up. Yeah, it's not. It's
Sure. DJ but
it's such a value for money proposition. Even if the money is low, why will you miss out on this area?
I agree with you, but last 3 years ago also DJ Byte came down to the last day. Yaar. That's the only issue. And
true.
Whoever picks it up, if by any chance they watch this, you can always reach out to us, and you'll get your panelists.
Yeah, we're happy to host. Yeah, please.
Yeah. So obviously opening day के fixtures, they are obviously as usual. It's Genoa versus Inter से start हो रहा है, because Scudetto winners हमेशा start करते हैं. Genoa Inter starts at 10 PM. फिर you have एकदम, मतलब अगर कोई आप एकदम rivalry वाली fixture देख रहे हो first game week में, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Parma Fiorentina है, AC Milan Torino है, Empoli Monza है, Bologna Udinese है, Las Verona Napoli. I guess that could be the most entertaining game probably. Cagliari Roma है. I know Ajay bhai को that's quite the fixture, and he would like to get one over Cagliari. Lazio, Venezia, Lecce, Atalanta, and we end for DJ by Juve gets to host Como after a long time in Serie A, and obviously Juve Motta comes up against Fabregas. That is quite interesting, to be fair. ये तो Serie A fixtures है, so yeah, just wanted to show that. Or just if anyone wants to see Euros का time, obviously 12:30 को 15th को है, and funnily enough Copa America उसी सुबह 5:30 बजे. So yeah,
they have a third place playoff also.
Yeah, correct. ये सब इंडियन टाइम थे रजत. I pulled up FootMob, which is configured to Indian time. So 18th को चालू हो रहा है. So there's still over a month left. I'll just take last few comments and close this here, because obviously this has been a good stream, but it has gone too long as well. Weather, food and language, says Nikhil for Italy, as DJ Bhai said. Does anyone follow NBA over here? Not me. Anyone?
Again, used to. Yeah, it's not the same anymore. Again, It's Jordan,
from
it's Kobe, a little bit
I'm
of
Ginobili
LeBron.
time, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and
Uh,
Shaq, and I mean, those were the days, yeah, guys. The sport is very different today. It's very
yeah,
across sport. It's so templatized. We were just talking. Even NBA is now. It's just
yeah.
physical. You know, you will not find
But
another Kobe and another Jordan. It's just not going to
how,
happen.
and
I
DJ, you said I'm a big tennis fan. Tennis is also not interesting anymore, man.
Yeah, it's
How
ये
was
really.
मेरा
this?
तो है.
You
We
missed
were,
the part in the beginning.
yeah,
We
हम
were
लोग
talking about tennis quite
We
a
were
lot.
actually
we
talking
started
about
with
that
tennis.
only.
Yeah.
We were talking about that.
But yeah, we started with tennis here. It was a fun discussion. Sure, it's not the same, obviously. Serie A is cooked, says Rajat. Mukesh Ambani says Infantino is there in us. Funnily enough, I don't like Infantino, but yeah, it's very weird. He's an Inter and Fiorentina fan. Very strange combination. Like, I don't know why Fiorentina and Inter both, but very
Yeah.
strange combination. Genoa versus Joseph House, back to his home. Rafael Varane to Comoha. Your Fraudizio just reported it's almost done by next week. It should be done. I'm ready, but Neeta, अरे यार तू चुप कर यार. Fan code might get it, यार. The issue with fan code, I'll tell you, it'll be super cheap, Ajay bhai. It'll be like 20 rupees or something. But TV पे देखना issue, like you won't get like a proper channel to watch it on. I really hope Chintan bhai ने बोला था. I really hope Sony gets it with Manas bhai and everything. I'm sure they will be the first to
I
recognize
hope
us
Sony
very.
gets it. I hope Sony gets
Yeah.
it.
I know they will do a pre-show. I'm pretty sure they'll recognize us and there can be something done from our end. So I really hope Sony gets it. But you know who has the edge? You know, pretty much Jio has the edge if they just make a simple bid. Rajat, yeah, Indian time is higher. What's up with Como and Venezuela have better graphics than every? Funnily enough, Chintan bhai said this in an older stream. Como is doing better marketing than most clubs in the Serie A.
Amazing, man, amazing.
Probably not UA and Roma, but definitely better than the Milan clubs. Chintan bhai
You know,
definitely
a big,
better
a big, a big reason for that is because
than
they are staying true to themselves. That
yeah,
authenticity and artistry is what they are selling.
yeah,
Unfortunately, when the clubs are bigger, the stakes are higher. They're far more corporatized. So then they
yeah,
start thinking
I think
not
Param,
of their
what
authentic voices. They start thinking what the consumer wants. They start predicting that, and which is where you lose your essence. Like I
DJ,
still
what?
will never forget how Juve did that whole split white and black jersey. I mean,
Yeah,
and that is
amazing.
just because you want to tap
yeah,
in on fans in North
Yeah, yeah.
America.
Not,
yeah,
by
Stay
the
true
way,
to
DJ,
yourself.
this is what Del Monte was saying, right? Roma is the
yeah,
most beautiful place on this planet, most marketable city,
So
and you
easy
still
to
can't do it.
market.
And I saw one Como keep on uploading their picture of the
yeah,
stadium. Look at
yeah,
that; it's
yeah.
so picturesque, man.
Chintan bhai also what they do is, as DJ bhai said, they stay true to themselves. वो लोग अपने फैंस की स्टोरीज लिटरली डेली बेसिस पे शेयर कर रहे हैं सोशल मीडिया में. फैंस
Amazing,
की
amazing,
पर्सनल स्टोरीज, नॉट हैंडपिक्ड फैंस. दे अप्रोच आउटसाइड एंड दे गेट दो स्टोरीज. यू सी द
amazing.
ग्राफिक्स. एंड डीजे भाई said कि वो इंडोनेशियन ओनर इज टैपिंग इनटू एवरी
And I
market
was
out
just
there.
that's all. By the way, the owner is backing them, right? So it is a pretty
Yeah.
marketable place to go, and that is why you see a player like Varane is linked to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So वो तो एक अच्छा point था. Ciao Ragazji, it was fun. Ciao Swarnim bhai, we are also going to close this shortly. Anat says it's coming home. Why are you supporting England? यार तू तो साला Calcio fan है. क्या हो गया तुझे? I hope you're jinxing though. यूरो कोपा फाइनल. अरे कोपा फाइनल वॉच अलोंग कैसे होगा भाई? सुबह 5:30 बजे कौन वॉच अलोंग करता है भाई? यूरो डोंट नो यार, डोंट नो. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just wrap it up. Yeah, everyone has to head out, so we'll just wrap this up.
Okay, this is a good one.
Interesting. Would you score last minute CL winner for your club?
Oh my god. Or the road goes on and
Quickly, let's wrap it up quickly.
yeah.
What
The
he's saying?
road goes on,
Either score a winner and the club never wins UCL again,
or later down the line, or if that doesn't happen later down the line, you win it at some point and there's no condition to that. ऐसा बोल
of
रहा है.
course that. I would never want
Ladder,
Milan, for
yeah,
example.
ladder. So either you win the CL like right now, but you don't win it ever again, or you win it later down the road.
There's no
There's no condition. You can win it 10
यार
times.
यार मेरे से पूछो यार, मेरे से पूछो.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
yeah. For him,
it's
it's
98.
102, DJ.
2 second.
2 यार. बाद में जीतो,
No,
20 बार जीत लो.
two they won. Guys, I don't know if you'll know this stat. 9 finals.
Yeah, that's
Almost as many finals as Liverpool. I mean, like, it's a shocking stat.
Yeah. Fair enough. For DJ Bhai, I can understand it. And to be fair, even for Ajay Bhai, I'm pretty sure he would probably take the UCL right away, right? So
I would take it. Yeah, I would. In my lifetime, I have to see it, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the World Cup. I have to see the CL.
Arun
But
says,
that said, I feel like this Mota era, if it goes on, maybe he hits season 4,
Oh.
season 5. I think Juve
okay,
can win it.
so he's saying by you, I meant कि आप खुद last minute score करो. Oh my God.
मैं goalkeeper हूँ.
No, I think they would prefer the UCL. But let's wrap this up. We all have to quite leave as well. थोड़ा late हो गया. Last ले लेता हूँ यार comments. Only relevant UA transfer is Alisha Lehman.
That transfer.
Yeah.
Fino ala Pune.
Yeah, she's definitely getting eyeballs to UA का social media game. Obviously, numbers तो है ही. She's getting more to that, by the way.
Fonseca.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll close this यार. I think thank you guys for tuning in यार. आपके comments बहुत लंबी stream चली, but I think अजय की wine अभी तक खत्म नहीं, अजय भाई की. It was that longest.
Slow drinker. I'm a very slow drinker.
But
No, I
yeah,
just should be with wine.
Yeah.
But yeah, 16 people still here. Very surprised to see itna late. But thank you guys for tuning in. Aapne comments rakhe. We enjoyed this chill stream. And keep tuning in, guys. Any closing words from you guys? Anyone? Ajay bhai, Chintan bhai, DJ bhai.
Yamal, please do something. Yamal, save us. Save football, please. Save football.
Yeah, I think just share the Del Monte video with everybody.
Yeah.
Especially,
And put the word out, guys. Get your friends on the channel. Put the word out. Soon we're also going to be doing some exciting contests and stuff for you guys to participate in. So looking forward to your continued participation. And very soon we're going to have a few more things as part of the format. So excited for those things to take shape. And and Forza Juve, guys, as always.
As everyone said यार, एक तो आप लोग ने अगर अभी तक डेल मोंटे एपिसोड देखा नहीं है, प्लीज गो, वीडियो सेक्शन में है, please go and check it. If you can share it, please do share it. The video is already done well, but I feel that it can do even better if you spread the word. So please share it, guys. Thank you. Ciao. We'll see you soon. Forza Inter from my end.
Conoce sempre da Roma.